Salutations, my fellow dandies! It's me, Jack Dandy. And we're back in Final Fantasy 14! And we are finally, after 2 years and a few months, on the road to Endwalker. We have completed, I think, the Shadowbringers part of the story. The Scions are back in their bodies. We're back in the source. All the Ascians, except one, who apparently is fine, is dead. And now we've got the sort of 19 missions that lead into the beginning of Endwalker. But first, I want to become a samurai, because I didn't do it last week. So as I explained last week, there is a new I recognise that. There you are. There you are. I see you over there hiding behind that pillar. I see you, Citralis. I recognise that pixie. You can't hide from me. I see you. I want to... well, I lost my train of thought. You're like distracted because of the fairy. It does help that you're the only person who has a name poking out from behind the pillar. It is unfair to you. It does make it very difficult for you to hide. You shouldn't have told me, because you should have told me about the fact that you've been like sneaking the fairy into shots, because I wouldn't have noticed for years. I would have probably gone completely unaware that you were photobombing my my shots. Oh, and you got the little yellow Power Ranger costume on. Very dandy. I feel bad having taken mine off now. I went back to the Red Mage gear because I thought, well, the event's over. The Moonfire Fair. Oh, I feel like I've got to put it back on now. Would you add one more week? One more week. As Dandy the Ranger. Just so that we match. Look at us. Yeah, so there's the 10th anniversary... sorry. Yeah, it's 10th anniversary. The 10th anniversary event is starting up, and they're doing the Moogle Treasure Trove. And so I thought this is a perfect opportunity to level up a second class. And I've been wanting to do a samurai. So I'm going to do a samurai, and then... lovely. And then immediately switch back to being a red mage once I've done the mission. We'll carry on with the Shadowbringers main scenario quest. It's scenario quest. I got that right, and I second guessed myself. So we need to talk to this guy to learn the way of the samurai. Thal's balls. Just when you think you've seen it all, the world's full of surprises. What am I talking about, you ask? Oh, nothing much. Just the most amazing blade work I've ever seen. It wasn't even the main card either, but light entertainment. A Far Eastern fellow, old enough to be my grandfather, appeared and called for challenges. But who should answer him but a brute of a gladiator? People thought it was either a mummery or a sick joke. After all, what could one expect from such a mismatch? The old and infirm versus the young and inform? That's quite a good line. But when the action began, the old man proceeded to drop everyone's jaws. His opponents not least of all with his blistering blade work. He cut his jaw off. The most riveting moment, though, was when he had the challenger on the back foot, for instead of finishing the job, he went and sheathed his blade. Putting your steel away in the heat of battle, well, that's akin to committing suicide. This wasn't lost on the gladiator, who lunged in with a mighty swing. The spectators gasped collectively, thinking it was over, and it was, but not for the old man, for in the next instant, before anyone could comprehend what had happened, his opponent was crumpled on the ground. In one fell stroke and with impossible speed, the old man had drawn his sword and dealt the telling blow. A few heartbeats passed in stunned silence, and the stands erupted in riotous cheering. God, just recounting it gives me the chills. Yeah, I bet it would have been cool to watch, rather than you just telling me about it. The speed, the precision, the elegance, simply sublime. How is it possible I'd never heard of these Far Eastern warriors? These samurai. Wait, do you think what I what you're thinking? You want to face the old man? Well, that silver-tongued Shadow Master was looking for a new challenger, but you don't want to do this. Let someone else be the fool. I am the strongest man in the world, in 2 worlds. I will go and fight whoever I damn well please. Where is he? Gladiator Guild. I can go there. Fella. I want to take a photo at some point, but I haven't quite figured out what I want to do. There's a competition at the moment where you have to take a photo of like reflecting on your time in Final Fantasy XIV with your character to enter the 10th anniversary competition to become part of a montage. What do they call it? It's like a picture, one of those pictures made up of lots of little pictures. I can't remember what the word is. One of those, and you can win Cloud's hair if you're selected. So I thought, oh well, I can do that. Come one, come all, and marvel at the mystery of the Far East. A swordsman hailing from exotic Hingashi, whose blade work is quicker than the eye can see. Oh. Don't let his age fool you, although old though he may be, he's already made short work of one of Uldar's meanest gladiators, and he now seeks a new challenger. If you can best him, you'll be rewarded with a rare Hingan treasure. There's just one condition. You must fight with the same blade as the old man's. If you think you have what it takes, proceed to the Gladiators Guild and make yourself known to the Far Eastern Elder. I want to beat you up, old man. Hello. He's okay as a samurai trainer, I guess. He's no, Zundra? I can't remember the name of the red mage, the guy. This aura, unusual, yet undoubtedly formidable. Dare I hope a worthy challenger has come. Well met, friend. I am Musosai, a samurai of Hingashi. To be fair, the Sentai uniform is actually more thematically appropriate when becoming a samurai. Lest you wonder, samurai are swordsmen of the Far East. Yet know that the swords we wield are unlike those of this land. Katana they are called, and for our duel I shall lend you such a blade, along with a stone, a talisman of sorts. Wear them on your person, you shall become one of us, at least in appearance, if not in sooth. It's like, now, fight me in battle, so that you may earn your place as a samurai. And it's like, okay. Bye. And then I've become a samurai, technically. Like, very technically. Like, I have the capacity to turn into a samurai. That is all I needed. I will come back once I've leveled up a bit and we'll do the samurai quests. I could do the level 50 quest now, but I don't want to do the level 50 quest and then it be months before I do the level 52 quest, because I'll just forget what I've done. So I'll just level to like 80 and do all of the quests in one go. It does mean not having some of my abilities for a little bit. But you know, I'm already a burden in combat anyway, so it's no difference. Right, let's go and see Alisaie's quest, which is the less popular fantasy series made by Square Enix. I need to go to the Rising Stones. That one. I wasn't planning to do this. I saw it whilst I was looking for something to spend my MGP on. and I realised they had a Bokto as one of the weapons you can buy from the gold source, and I was like, I am absolutely, for my entire career as a samurai, going to have a cool wooden sword, like Gintoki. Oh, my boy Graha, and my potatoes, and Alphino and Anderson. See, the thing is, what I should have done, this is my own stupid fault, is I should have... oh, and Hori's here. Hello, Hori. What I should have done is come on early and gotten my photo for the competition done here. Like, I could have sat at a table with Alice and Alphino, and with Graha and Kryl and Tataro in the background. It would have been the whole gang. Maybe I'll get a better shot or something, I don't know. And let's talk to Kryl. You're not Kryl. Oh, greetings, Jack. Come to look in on our friends. Rest assured everyone is quite well. I've been keeping a close eye on them and have satisfied myself that they are all in fine health. As a matter of fact, they're just about to convene in Dawn's Respite to discuss how best to use their pent-up energy. Oh. That's one of those meetings, is it? It's okay. Let's join them, shall we? Oh, so we can just like... Yeah, well, we made Dawn's Respite as an area, so we're going to use it more than once now.
Well, my friends, now that we have all settled back into our bodies, it is time we resumed our duties in earnest. Let us speak of our plans.
For a second there, I thought Alphino changed voice actors between patches, but I think his voice actor just delivered that line weird. That didn't sound right. I don't know what it was. But it came
Ever
around
since
at
the
end.
Emperor's death, it's been one unsettling rumor after another. I've a mind to pay a visit to Garlemald to ascertain the truth of the matter.
A prudent endeavor. 'Tis of the essence that we establish the full extent of the threat, not least if it should prove that Xenos doth indeed orchestrate events from the shadows. In light of which possibility, I shall accompany thee on thy mission. Be assured that thou shalt find me more a help than a hindrance. Thou requirest another to imbue thine ammunition, dost thou not?
So, yeah, but I don't know how stealthy you are with your dress.
Assuming that's settled, there's something I've been meaning to look into as well.
Welcome back, everyone!
I'll be honest, I forgot that you were a character.
Lise!
I think Lise did appear in Shadowbringers at some point, but scantly.
You're fine now, right? No more headaches or keeling over?
That's right. We're fighting fit and raring to go.
Also, we replaced you. So, don't worry about leaving the
The
Scions.
famous Lise Hext, former Scion, and hero of the Alamegan resistance.
I don't believe we've met.
So is Graha just like a fanboy for the entire Scions? I thought he was just my fanboy.
Really? It's so easy to assume that all Archons are acquainted. But then I suppose your fields of expertise are rather different.
Grahat here, at your service. I have read much and more about your exploits, Commander. It is a pleasure to finally make your acquaintance.
Likewise. The others told me all about you.
Like, I'm a big fan. Not quite big enough to summon you to help out in the situation in the first, but, you know, like a level below that.
Do not be so sure. Words scarcely do justice to the vital role he played in our victory in the first. A more dependable comrade one would be hard-pressed to find.
Oh, right. I did glance at the report. But I'd be lying if I said I understood half of it.
Alphino just furious that his hard work didn't get the point across. I spend up all night writing that.
Well, that's a lot to take in. Just to be clear, this means we're not heading for another calamity, does it?
Shorn of their unsundered master's leadership, what Ascians remain shall struggle to see their plans to fruition.
Yes or no question, Urianger?
And though I would ever advise caution, I believe we may rest easy for a time.
Have you looked if there are any dungeons this stream? There is one in it's 4 quests time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's like the 5th quest of this patch has a dungeon. But I don't know how long the first 4 quests are, so it might be like... The problem is I've been starting quite late. It's at like 10 a.m. At 10 p.m. 10 a.m. would be very late, or very early. And so by the time I get to the dungeon, it's got to be like... it's going to be like 1 a.m. and there might not be anyone queuing for the dungeon. So I might have to do it with NPCs anyway. I'm 3 streams late in the MSQ, so I might have to rush through. Yeah, gotta stop trying to photobomb you. Yeah, gotta stop photobombing me and then catch up. You gotta go and kill Elidibus.
I'll take that as a yes. Even so, I don't know what to make of this business about Hydaelyn and Zodiac being primals.
A difficult truth to bear, yes. But at last we understand the nature of our adversary. And if there are no further calamities, neither will there be rejoinings, meaning Zodiac will never regain his full strength. Even so, as the oldest and mightiest of primals, he remains a force to be feared. Though his is a power born of the desire for salvation, we have seen the havoc it may wreak. And it falls to us to ensure that it is never again brought to bear upon this star.
Why is the voice acting all weird? What was it about this patch that... Did there was just like a big break? It just feels like their voice acting's like really off. Maybe there's just like a big break between this patch and when they did the voicing on the last one. Because Alphino sounds off, and Y'shtola sounds off.
But tell us, Lys, to what do we owe the pleasure of your visit?
What do you mean? Isn't seeing my long-lost comrades reason enough? Alright, there was one other matter. I have a message from the Alliance, and before you ask, yes, it's about the Empire.
Actually, I think I might know what it is. This patch was been released in 2020, so they probably had to record these voice lines at home, or possibly in like weird conditions because of COVID. So maybe that's why the voices sound weird.
So, after Emperor Varys' assassination, it seems his cousin Nerva made a bid for the throne. The trouble is, he wasn't the only one with designs on it, and it didn't take long for a civil war to break out. And it's not just in the provinces. Early reports say huge swathes of the Imperial capital have been reduced to rubble.
I imagine most of Endwalker must have been recorded during COVID as well, so they must have, again, it must have been like either from home, in like their own home studios, or in like special conditions where only like one of them was allowed to go in at a time.
The Alliance will soon convene in Alamigo to decide on a course of action, and we were hoping you'd come along.
It's just interesting. It's like when you watch a TV series from like the late 2010s, and then suddenly the quality of writing drops off, and you went, "Oh, the writer's strike, the first writer's strike kicked in." And it's like, "Oh, this is why Scrubs is bad now."
Well, as it happens, Urianger and I were just this moment planning a little trip to Garlemald, and we should be grateful for any advice the Alliance can provide on how best to make the most of our visit.
This is why Heroes is terrible now, and they cancelled it after 3 seasons.
To Alamigo, then.
Why don't you go on without me? There's something I need to look into.
Alisaie's looking into a lot of things today. I thought the thing she was looking into with Lise, but I don't know why.
Oh, forgive me. You were just telling us. What is it, if I may ask?
I want to find a way to cure the Tempered.
Of course. You think it may be possible to adapt the treatment you used to help those corrupted by the Sin Eaters?
I'm sorry, a cure for tempering? But that would change everything. Alisaie, consider yourself uninvited. Go and find us this cure.
I'll do my best. I was hoping you might join me. Don't worry if not, though. I won't hold it against you if you'd rather attend a stuffy meeting.
Ah, you know me. I love sitting through dialogue. I like stuffy meetings.
Rest assured, there'll be many, many more. Go on, lend Alisaie a hand.
I'll come too. If you don't mind, that is.
Mind? I'm sure they would be glad of your company. Pray, enjoy your time together with your hero.
No. That's not... I mean, I simply thought my knowledge might be of some use.
Yeah, he did invent the... Well, I mean, didn't invent it, but he did work with the Fraggle that made it. So he's probably going to be quite well placed to help with the cure.
We shall be on our way, then. Godspeed.
I keep calling her a Fraggle, and she's not a Fraggle. I can't remember what the name of the thing I think she is. When I set out to save Howrick, I think Gabu was always at the back of my mind, and having proved that the light corrupted are not lost, I am convinced that the same must be true of the Tempered. Similar to those corrupted by the Sin Eaters, the ether of Gabu's soul has been rendered stagnant, and though the root cause is different, perhaps the solution is the same. It is by no means an unreasonable hypothesis, Alisaie, and it warrants full investigation. If there's even a chance we can save Gabu, we have to try. But however much I'd like to race over to Limsa and set to work, there's no room for recklessness. Not when a child's life is at stake. I forgot we left it with the Maelstrom. Did we set it with the Maelstrom or the pirates? We left it with someone in Limsa. As I'm sure Berk-Luke would remind us, we still know little and less about the soul. Any number of things could go wrong if we don't exercise due caution. And so, before attempting anything, we should learn all we possibly can about tempering. There's just one problem. Research into the condition has long since ground to a halt, and the combined work of the many scholars involved doesn't exactly amount to a wealth of knowledge. Not of the modern scholars, perhaps, but what of their ancient counterparts? I know the Allegans took a more than passing interest in the subject. And what if we seek... And if what we seek is to be found anywhere, it would surely be at the Etherochemical Research Facility. Is that the one on the floating island? Where they experiment on primals and their worshippers, yes. Good thinking. I've never actually been there myself, but I did read the reports on Aziz's La, which means we'll be needing an airship. Okay, now is the floating island. Hehehe, an airship, you say? Meet me at the northern bank of Silvertear Lake. I've got a little surprise for you. Oh, and come prepared to travel. I mean, I've still got my whirly-birds that Sid gave me. You could hang on to the sides. I've also got my car, which, you know, you could sit in as well. I have options. We don't have to listen to Tataru. That's always true. She drinks. She drinks. That's just all I'm worried about. I'm going more donor. No, it's outside. I'm gonna pay 100 gil just because I'm too lazy to walk through a door. Although, I've paid more real money for less. Goddamn gacha games. I swear, I play Pokemon Masters and I don't understand the money, like how that game makes money, because there's no possible, like, combination of gem packs, like the premium currency, that makes sense to me. It's only, I mean, it's supported entirely by whales. I don't understand it. Like, if it was slightly cheaper, I'd probably spend so much more money on it. Anyway, this isn't the time to be ranting about gacha games. I give you the Bonanza, the Scion's very own airship. I was really bored. Oh, she was. I built her as a company project with help from our friends at the Rising Stones and named her for luck and prosperity. Yeah, Tataru, well, it turns out when Tataru doesn't have any secretarial work to do, she's actually, like, incredibly competent at a bunch of stuff. She made all their clothes and built an airship. It's like, did you ask Sid? And she went, no, it's my own original design. Sid can suck it. Tataru, this is amazing. We're going to fly just about anywhere we want. Our garments were impressive enough, but to build an entire airship, I see the annals did not exaggerate the many talents of the Scion's fabled coinkeeper. Hee. I'd also introduce myself as your pilot, except the training didn't go quite as well as I'd hoped. That's because of all the drinking. But that's alright, because we've hired this capable fellow here instead. Hello. The Bonanza is equipped with a full complement of mana cutters. By the way, feel free to use them to get around Aziz's La. But enough talk, it's time to fly. All aboard! I mean, I said that about Tataru. Do we want to, like, trust an airship made by the drunk? Well, we're here and we're not dead, so I suppose it's okay. Honestly, Sid would be jealous of the way that airship flies. Tataru has outdone herself. Anyway, here we are on Aziz's La, and Alphino's report did not do the scale of this place justice. This appears to be the helix, which means we stand in the Alpha Quadrant. To the east lies the Beta Quadrant, and... yes, I believe I have my bearings. Though this is my first time on Aziz's La, I do have some familiarity with the place thanks to the records in the Crystal Tower. Unless I'm mistaken, this path leads to an Itherite, beyond which there will be an information terminal. I suggest we begin our search there. I could teleport to this ether, but I'm not quite that lazy. And here is the terminal. A moment while I search the archives for references to Temporary. smidge, just a smidge, so I'm not drowned out by the background drone. Ah, there we are. Iconic corruption and overview. That sounds promising. Indeed. Let's see what this report has to say. Salutations, Briar. Someone bought my figure arts freezer, and I have my no good alien boyfriend now. I saw. I think I liked the tweet. It was one of the few times I'd actually seen a tweet on. Yeah, that's very lucky, and very nice of them as well. I've been tempted to buy that very same figure because I do like Freezer, but it's a slippery slope buying Dragon Ball figures because it's like, well, I like Vegeta, so I bought him, but I also like Krillin, and I like Saiyaman, and I do like Freezer, and I like Yamcha. I suppose I should get a Goku if I'm getting all those characters. If I'm getting Goku, but I like Piccolo. I should get Piccolo. And then and I like Android 18. I'm getting 18, I should get 17. And I'm getting 18, 17, I should get 16. And then I have no money left. So, but yeah, happy for you. Next thing you go a couple grand in debt and so I figure out exactly. I already have that exact problem with Nendoroids at the moment. I was buying Nendoroids and pre-ordering them leading up to me moving, but I didn't want to open them up because I was like, well, I don't want to open them up when I'm going to move because I'm going to have to then pack them all away again, and there's lots of little parts. I didn't want them to get lost or anything. And I finally put the shelves up about a month ago now, but and unpacked them all, and they're adorable. I have two more I have two more VTuber ones pre-ordered, and there's some more coming out that I will pre-order. This reminded me of something. I'm annoyed. I meant to complain about this on a stream at one point. I pre-ordered a bunch of figures. I think I pre-ordered 2 of them at the end of 2021, and a couple of them at the beginning of 2022. And the pre-orders for figures, obviously they take a very long time because they have the pre-order window for some reason, like 18 months before the figure comes out. I pre-ordered a Nendoroid Phoenix Wright, a Nendoroid Miles Edgeworth, a Figure Arts Buzz Lightyear, and a Digimon figure of Billzamon, because it's my favourite Digimon. And the company that I pre-ordered them from, I bought loads of stuff from them before, and they've always been fine. Took ages pre-ordering, getting the stuff to me. The original pre-order passed. I emailed them and said, "Hey, I haven't had my figures. What's up?" And they went, "Real sorry. The problem with the supplier. They've been pushed back to. I think they originally said February and March this year. February and March passed. I emailed them again. They said, real sorry. They've been pushed back to July and August." Got to the middle of August and I was like, I'm going to chase them again. I went to the website. They've freaking got into administration. They got a note on their website saying, "Yeah, sorry, we're bankrupt." And I was like, well, what? What am I going to do with my money? I spent 250 quid on action figures, which was a lot in hindsight. But like I said, Nendoroids are expensive, and this was when I could afford it at the time. I can't afford it now, and so I was like, we are still going to try and get pre-orders to people, and we are still going to try and get your figures. So please email us if you have any queries. So I emailed them and said, look, you've gone bankrupt. Are you going to get my figures for me, or should I make a claim through PayPal for my money back? And I haven't heard a response from them yet. And part of me wants to just refund the money, but the other part of me is like, well, I can't pre-order. I still want the Phoenix. The Buzz Lightyear. The fairness, the Buzz Lightyear, I'm not that bothered about. I pre-ordered it before the Lightyear movie came out. Lightyear was kind of an only okay movie, so I don't mind losing the Buzz Lightyear. I mostly pre-ordered that because Buzz Lightyear was my favourite toy as a kid, and I felt nostalgic. That has passed. The Billzamon I would still like. but I can buy that. The Phoenix Wright and the Edgeworth, I might be able to buy them, but I still want them. So it's like, do I just wait and hope that maybe they can still, like, they're in administration, maybe they can get the figures for me? Or do I just make a claim to PayPal, get my money back, and then try and buy them elsewhere? I think I'll give them another week to respond, and if they don't, I'll just make a claim to PayPal. But, it's frustrating. It was just sort of like, it was on the back of my mind for like the last 3 or 4 months. And I went, right, well, I think I've given enough time, I'll chase it, and then it's like literally, I think it was like 5 days earlier as well, they went bankrupt. Show Big Bad Toy Store, I never had any issues with them. Well, I mean, this is a UK company, and so I don't have to, because the problem is, if I'm going to order from an American toy store, I might as well order from a Japanese store, because the exchange rate's slightly better, because the yen is very weak at the moment, and I got about the same amount of chance of playing for import tax. But if I bought it from this store, the reason I bought it from this store is because I had vouchers, which made it cheaper. Normally I'd pre-order from the Nendoroid company, what they call Good Smile store, directly. So most of the rest of all my VTuber Nendoroid pre-orders, I get all them through the Good Smile. So they're okay. And I've never had to pay import tax on any of that stuff. So in hindsight, I should have just got it from there. But I had a voucher, which made it slightly cheaper, and I knew that I wouldn't have to pay import taxes from the UK. But, and like I said, I'd ordered from this company before. They were fine. There was no problem at all. Bankrupt. Like, stories why don't I pre-ordering? Yeah, I'm not. I'd rather just buy it when it comes out, because, like I said, the pre-order window is so far ahead. But with Nendoroids especially, and Figmas as well. I know I don't buy many Figmas these days. If you don't pre-order, you don't get them. You run the risk of there not being any when they come out. Because a lot of stores will just buy as many as they have pre-orders. They don't buy extra. So it's a risk. Like, if you wanted to get, some of the VTuber Nendoroids you could probably find, and some of them you can't get anywhere. Like Gura, for example, is completely sold out. You had to pre-order her. I think probably, yeah, most of the other ones I've got as well. Anyway, you just reminded me of that. I thought I'd rant about it. But I'm very happy for you and your freezer. The figure arts Dragon Ball figures are very cool. I'm really happy with my Vegeta. I really want them to do, because the Dragon Ball Super, actually I might have to say, there's a costume that Vegeta wears in the Dragon Ball Super manga that I really want a figure of. So I'm hoping that they do that at some point. Anyway, confound it. The contents appears to have been deleted. What? No, isn't there something you can do? Is it in the recycle bin? Or can you just Control Z? Not from here, I'm afraid. But it may be that another copy of the report exists elsewhere. The question is where to look. It says here the report was written by someone named Owen. Is it likely that he kept a copy? I would say it is a distinct possibility. Assuming he was a researcher here, he will have had quarters in the Habitsphere. We can ascertain the details at Habitsphere Control. Let's return to the Bonanza and avail ourselves of the mana cutters. We will need them to reach our destination. I forgot, you already have a suitable means of transport, don't you? No need to waste time accompanying us back to the ship then. We'll see you at the Habitsphere. It's like, I have a mana cutter, and I can teleport. You know, I have options. I don't need you. I do actually need to fly over. I've even got my dragon mount. Back to a regular program, exactly. I can't rant for the entire stream. I mean, I can, but I have to read the dialogue eventually. And yeah, I did actually change back to my red mage gear, but then Sotratus photobombed me when I started, and he's wearing the Yellow Ranger costume. So I was like, okay, one more week as the Red Ranger. And then summer's over. Summer's over, so we've got to go back. And I'm not playing Final Fantasy XIV next Friday. And probably not the Friday after either, so... I thought, well, I'll wear it, because, you know... And then I'll wear my red mage gear when I'm back. Because next Friday we were playing Starfield, which would be exciting. Maybe. I've decided I'm going to play Starfield on Friday and Saturday. I'm going to play it all day Saturday. I might see if I can get the day off work on Friday and play it all day Friday, otherwise I'll just play it in the evening. If by the end of Saturday it hasn't sold me on... there's our little whirly birds. It hasn't sold me on the game, I'm just gonna play. I'm just gonna get Baldur's Gate and just play that all week instead. Because I got the first week of September off on leave, so I can do some longer streams all week, which would be nice. And then the Friday after that, Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis comes out, the mobile remake of Final Fantasy VII. So we'll be playing that and getting gacha costumes. So please just be better than Redfall. That'd be hard not to be better than Redfall. That is such a sad story. Like, Redfall coming out after Prey, and to a lesser extent Deathloop. Arcane really have to sort their shit out. At least they're not doing as bad as BioWare, though. If the late Owen did indeed have a chamber here, this node will be able to tell us its number. Really glad I'm not a Dragon Age fan. Yeah, Dragon Age fan, because I don't think that game's going to be any good. What happened with BioWare? They laid off a lot of senior staff to save money. Because the senior staff were the ones that have the most, the highest paying contracts. That's the suspicion. And I say, like, longest serving people. So, like, one of the guys they fired wrote dialogue for Baldur's Gate 1. That was how long he'd been working at BioWare. So it doesn't bode well for Dragon Age 4. Or for BioWare generally. Some people are saying, like, because Baldur's Gate 3 came out and it was so good that they're just like, it I don't know, scared them, or they just went, okay, yeah, no, we're not anywhere near this level, we're going to get raked over the coals, so we need to try and save some money. I don't know, there's any number of reasons, but the point is they fired a load of really, like, senior members of BioWare. Yeah. There. When I recorded the layout, it should be somewhere in the vicinity of... Warning, an evacuation order is presently in effect. Entry to the Habersphere is not permitted at this time. Foiled again. In all likelihood, the order would have been imposed during the 4th Umbral Calamity, and I doubt it would be lifted in the near future. Can we not just tell it the 4th Umbral Calamity is over? BioWare. Yeah, it's it's a shame. I was talking to this with a friend just yesterday, and it was like so many studios like sell their studio to a bigger company, and then all the people that made that studio then leave. Like Bungie, Rare, to some degree, Mojang, and plenty of others. And it's like, yeah, EA got BioWare, but they've got rid of all the things that made BioWare, so what's the point? It's why I've got very little faith about any of these upcoming... Well, I guess they're remakes, but the Konami games coming up, like Silent Hill 2 remake and Metal Gear Solid 3 remake. Like, yeah, okay, they're remakes, so it's not like they're creating anything new, so they can't go too badly, but they don't have any of the people working there who made those games anymore, so... Dear Glowing Green Cube, F off, it's over. I remember saying that to my GameCube. Energy level critical, returning to base for recharging. Oh, it's like my Roomba. Well, surely there must be some other way to gain access. Force, for example? Ere we resort to that, I have an idea. Were we to send a surge of energy through yonder control mechanism, it should prompt the system to restart releasing the locks. As for a suitable energy source, a concentrated lightning shard might suffice. Happily, I seem to recall that they are known to form at points of stagnant ether throughout the continent. You seem to recall? Are you honestly telling me that was in the records too? Ha, I am. A report sent to the capital mentioned that lightning aspects of ether was prone to pooling on the continent, resulting in surges that interfered with equipment. A minor detail, I grant you, but in my role as caretaker of the Crystal Tower, there was no such thing as too much Alagan knowledge, and I was very bored, and I've been alive for hundreds of years. Besides, my studies helped me feel connected to the source, to home. I must have explored this facility 1,000 times in my mind, but to finally stand here with the two of you, 'tis more exhilarating than I can well express. Now then, the lightning shard. If I may, I suggest we split up and search the beta quadrant. Oh, but beware of sprites. They are wont to manifest where the ether is stagnant. Now you're just showing off, which makes me think that we should make a contest of this. The first to return here with the shard wins. What do you say? I wasn't the biggest fan of LSA when she was like first introduced properly, because I just felt like I didn't have like much of a personality. I love how much of a bimbo she is, and she's just like a muscle head. It's just like, yeah, I don't understand. Let's just break it in. Let's just blow it up. Yeah, exactly. Hear me out. Use explosives. That is exactly LSA. So like, can we just kick the door in? And it's like, no, we need to do this thing, but we might get attacked by these monsters. She's like, awesome. Let's make a contest out of it. Very well. It would be my honor to come third. It's like, haha! I'm going to lose. I'm going to lose to my hero. Where am I going? This way. But yeah, she's great. There was a shot in last week where she jumps over a railing to go and kill some things, and she just looks so happy at the concept of upcoming murder. I'm so happy for her. Hang on. Oh yeah, there we go. I agree, I'd rather a straight fight over a fetch quest. Oh, I'm more about boxes. You know, if you need some boxes moved, I'm your guy. Hang on, let me get my bird out. He needs the XP. I always forget how loud combat is in this game. Pop that down. Is that quiet enough? That should be right. Still do it though, for the price of the triple triad card. Oh, absolutely. I mean, I've said before, at one point I will go back and do the raids that I have otherwise completely skipped over because there are triple triad cards locked behind them. I'm not looking forward to it, but I'm sure the raids are fun. Bravo! That was quite a show, adventurer. Why, the spectacle proved so enthralling that all thoughts of the prize slipped my mind. I appear to have forfeited our little race. Congratulations, the lightning shard is yours. that... Actually, I don't know who that is. What? No dramatic entrance? You've changed. I'm gonna pretend I know who it is, though. Oh, it's Graha. Ah, you remember that. In my defense, I was caught up in the moment. It isn't every day you meet an honest-to-God's hero, after all. Well, the contest continues, so you'd better hurry back. Ah, but one last thing. Thank you, Jack, for bringing me here. That's alright, Graha. I promise. After all, I said I'd take you on an adventure. Didn't mean to heal myself there. And the Warrior of Light is nothing if not a man of his word. Oh! I'm umming and ahhing, hang on. I would have given a hint at the end of tomorrow's stream anyway, but I was going to say, Bri, if, speaking of Dragon Ball Z characters, I think you'll be very happy of my next AI companion once they're ready. Taps my nose. Asterix taps my nose. Asterix. Remember those loud glowing bird people aren't around. Yeah, I think they're all dead now. I think we're good. I think they're all gone. So you should be okay on that front. It appears Alice had no luck, so victory is yours. Congratulations. Now then, may I have the shard? What is it that makes you so much better at finding things? What do you have that I don't? I have like a mini map in my head that just points to where I need to go. It's really useful. That's a question I too have asked myself on numerous occasions. I suspect we could both learn a great deal from Jack, not only about the secrets of adventuring, but come, we should attend to our mission. I would love it if, like, in some expansion, they sort of address the fact that the Warrior of Light sees these symbols over people's heads, and they're like, wait, you see what? And he's like, yeah, do you guys not always see, like, giant glowing gold symbols above people's heads all the time with, like, a tick in them? Like, no. It's like, oh, well, I guess it's Hero Vision. I think real life would be a lot more interesting if, like, when I'd finished a piece of work and I had to email it to my boss, theirs was just like a big glowing gold thing with a tick in it to let me know the quest had ended. And I'd be like, yes, I'm going to get my reward now. Excellent. The system responded exactly as intended. We now have access to the Habisphere. Only one obstacle remains, the security systems within. Should they be triggered, they could make life rather difficult for us. Alice, say go and punch them. In light of which, pray leave the rest to me. If I'm right, my royal blood should allow me to venture in unmolested. Assuming this place works like the Crystal Tower, yes, but if it doesn't, you'll be on your own. I want you to promise us that you'll get out at the first sign of trouble. I promise. Wish me luck. I'm gonna let Graha do his thing. But yeah, I've got my next AI companion cooking. I'm waiting for the 3D model to come back. I don't know when, because I told them there was no rush. Hopefully sometime during September. Yeah. Should be fun. Because it'll be the first non-video game character. Well, nothing for it but to sit tight. Do you want to play some Triple Triad? No? Okay. We actually went and found a bench. I'm sure this Owen fellow was very learned, but iconic corruption and overview sounds like a studium thesis. We all had to write one. Lest you wonder, mine was about the combat applications of ether. I'm nothing if not practical. Alphino's was more philosophical, of course, political, dare I say it. He chose to write a lengthy discourse on our nation's duty to the world. A controversial subject, to say the least, especially because it got blown up. He asserted that Sharlayan's knowledge should rightly be used to protect all life on the star. Oh no, that was the island that got blown up. Sharlayan just got invaded. In direct opposition to the country's cherished policy of non-intervention. Being a leading member of the Forum, our father was not happy. I don't think they've talked about their parents very much. They've talked about their granddad a lot. At the time, of course, Alphino was utterly convinced of his views and would cheerfully argue to the death with anyone who saw things differently. By which I mean the rows were long. The rows were long. Sorry, not the rows were long. I'm thinking of my spreadsheets again. By which I mean the rows were long. To be fair to him, though, he's since learned to be a little more open-minded. But deep down, he still holds fast to that one belief, and I admire him for it. I love that Alice is like, oh yeah, long ago. And it's like, what? You guys are 15. Maybe 16. I can't remember. I think maybe you got slightly older since the start of the game. Your years, you're like, that was when you were 12. It was 3 years ago. I should have liked to meet the young Alphino. For what it's worth, my thesis concerned the Allagan civilization as depicted in folklore. Oh, you're back. I didn't know you attended the studium. I didn't. The thesis was required to earn my Archon's mark. My peers at the Students of Baldesion convinced me to write one with the promise of unfettered access to forbidden tomes. Though I considered it no more than a means to an end at the time, I would admit it was gratifying to have my efforts acknowledged. Good gods, an Archon's thesis. I shudder to imagine the work involved, but enough about that. Is this the fruit of your foray? Because no, I just stole this. It looked cool. Yes, Owen's archive node. It was waiting for me in his chamber. If a copy of his report still survives, it would be stored in this device. Shall we find out? Self-destruct activated. Yeah, I pressed the wrong button. They're the on button and the self-destruct button are right next to each other. The Allagans had a really poor sense of design. Initializing, scanning for registered user. User not found. To proceed as a guest, please complete biometric authentication. Verifying. Bloop. Authentication complete. Guest identified as member of the royal family. I am at your most humble services, Your Highness. Never ceases to amuse me. Just but a pity the effect will not last forever. Doga and Une said as much when they granted me this gift, but until such time as it fades, I shall use it gratefully. Search archive for iconic corruption. Searching. Blip, bloop. One item found. Iconic corruption. An overview. The report is locked by the author. Please state password. Try password. Well, go on then, Your Highness. Tell the nice node the password. Try password. Right. Let's see. Glory be to Allag. Incorrect, you have 2 tries remaining. Long live Emperor Zande. You have 1 try remaining. Confound it. Bro, I haven't had McDonald's in like 20 years. Why the fuck is everything so expensive now? Yeah, I know what you mean. They used to have a thing called the 99p menu in the UK, and it's now called the Saver menu because nothing on it is 99p anymore. Everything, I think the cheapest thing on the Saver menu is now like £1.79, and that's like the cheeseburger. No, not even the cheeseburger. Just like a burger. Like the smallest nothing burger is just burger and ketchup, I think, in a tiny bun. Well, they are nice if you buy like 5 of them and then just it's like pretending to be Wimpy from Popeye. Come now, passwords are invariably short and simple. For instance, password. Yay! Me and Alice are on the same page. Oh, I love her. She's such a meathead. Hey, salutations, buddy. The notion that the password could be something so inane would be laughable were it not dangerously stupid. Furthermore, your conduct in the presence of His Highness is grossly inappropriate. Know your place, handmaiden. Alice got roasted by a robot. What did that thing just call me? Wild Rose or Courage? Wild Rose! Blip, bloop, password incorrect. Again, be warned that any further inappropriate behavior in the presence of His Highness will not be tolerated. Alright, that's it. I say we dismantle it and manually extract what we need. Now, let's not be too hasty. A single misstep and we risk losing the report altogether. It's like, it will be worth it. I believe this may be a task for Sid and his colleagues. If anyone can coax Machina into cooperating, it is them. Handmaiden about to throw hands. I just love that, like, Alice had the exact same... I mean, I don't know what it says about me, because I called her a bimbo earlier, and now she's on the exact same page as me. I'll happily take a himbo status. Come, let us bear the node back to the Rising Stones. I'm not going anywhere. This is my home. This is where my charging station is. I agree with the short person. Oh, that sounds great. I should probably mention that I've yet to meet Sid since waking up. Rambros did send word to the Ironworks, but it appears our friends have been afield on urgent business. I don't know what Sid's been doing, actually. We haven't spoken to him in like an entire expansion. He's probably building a robot. Nevertheless, I assure you my proposal to seek his help is no pretext. However much I might look forward to seeing him again, him and everyone. But come, let's be on our way. Look at him, all but running. How sweet. Still, it wouldn't do to keep him waiting, shall we? Right. Back to Mordona. Don't like to be called short. I don't think we're supposed to say vertically challenged. I don't think Alice is short. I think like I said, she's 15. She's just growing still. I like that. Graha's got like his nose following around like I think I can get one of these nodes as a pet, as like a minion to follow me around. Although I think it's smaller when it's a minion because minions aren't that big. Wonderful news, Jack. Tadaro contacted Sid on our behalf, and he is on his way here even as we speak. While we wait, I should very much like to hear what transpired at the Alliance Council. Would you be so kind, Kral? As you know, the meeting was convened to discuss how best to respond to the recent events in Garlemald. According to intelligence from our Doman allies, the War of Secession rages on, and the Empire remains without a leader. I mean, it does have a leader, it's just no one wants him to be the leader. Amidst the chaos, the Imperial legions in the provinces have begun to move independently of the motherland. Of greatest concern to us is the third, not Illard, a legion aligned with Lord Nerva. It appears they have received substantial financial backing from House Brutus. I don't know who those people are. Brutus, aren't they the ones who took in Yotsu and Asahi? This bodes well. Oh, I do know who those people are. Yes, I forgot that Asahi was a Brutus. Zenos's movements, meanwhile, remain shrouded in mystery. We're hoping that Thancred and Urianger will be able to shed some light on his activities when they return. Until such time as they do, the Allied leaders feel it would be unwise to interfere in the conflict. And so, thanks in part to the Imperial withdrawal from Gimlet, they have decided to turn their attention to the primary problem once more. Working with friendly factions among the Beast tribes, they hope to reopen dialogue and explore new avenues for peace. Given the timing, I suspect they wish to put their respective houses in order ahead of a decisive clash with the Empire. It's like, oh, they decided to focus on the primal problem. And like, primal problem is like, oh yeah, well you were in the first. Like, they summoned like 20 new primals. Here's 20 new dungeons you need to go and do. It's like, oh, god damn it. Like, freaking cockroaches. Whatever their intent, this is not a problem easily solved. The Laminsons, in particular, struggle in their efforts, and Alphino and Ishdalar have been called upon to aid them. So as long as we're dealing with the Tempered, I'm afraid no amount of dialogue will avail us. But if we can develop a treatment for tempering, then anything is possible. Which is why we must succeed. And on that cheery note, why not make yourselves comfortable in Dawn's respite? I'll show Sid in as soon as he revives. It's like, we never used this room until like a week ago, and now we use it for everything. What happened to the solar? What did you two do in the solar that you don't want anyone going in there? Like, nothing. It's like, what were you two doing when we were all in the first? It's like the kids who have had a house party while their parents are away and they're desperately trying to hide the damage. Hi, Sid and Star Wars references. Sid? Forgive us for not coming to see you sooner, my friend. As you may have heard, we've had our hands full. In our defense, you are rather early. I was under the impression you'd be slumbering a while longer. Oh, I would have been, had you not fulfilled your promise. Yeah, I still struggle with that idea. Where I stand, the secrets of traversing time and space seem exactly as unfathomable as they ever did. But if an alternate version of myself has already laid them bare, I dare say that frees me up to concentrate on other endeavours. Wait, would that not cause a paradox? It's like, well, if a future me invented time travel, I don't need to bother. And it's like, no, if you don't, I disappear. You know, we've all watched Back to the Future. You need to still do the thing that you're going to grow up to do. I say grow up, you're an old man, but... Speaking of which, you wanted my help with something. What is it? Oh, yeah, I need your help resetting a password. It's like, you came to find... You travelled across space and time for tech support. Well, a treatment for tempering. And for the next step, you need to find the password to this Allagan's report. Just so, and with nary a clue to guide us, we could be here forever and still not guess correctly, and thus we turn to you. Well... Plus, we answered so many times, it's making us complete a capture code now, each time we guess, and it's just... they're so annoying. Like, if I have to tell it which of these 9 pictures of bridges one more time, I swear to God. Well, I'd love to say that we could help you, so I will. Once suitably configured, a Magitech terminal should make short work of identifying the password. Have you tried to turning reality off and on again? Well, we might be able to do that, actually. We've got friends. I knew I could rely on you. Now, anticipating they might be of use, I took the liberty of borrowing a tombstone from Rambros. It contains an Allegan dictionary. Good thinking. I'll transfer the information to a terminal and set it to work right away. Hello, Tataru. Don't worry, we'll be trying it out soon. Oh. Is that an Endwalker teaser? Ah, looks like it's finished. Let's see. It's like, oh yeah, that really didn't. That really. The Allegans are like, we are like a super sophisticated ancient civilization, and we still have shit password control. It's like we still can't get. We still can't stop our passwords from leaking to some like dude who's with a spanner. That's when most of my passwords get leaked to, dudes with spanners. I get a notification on Google all the time just saying your password may have been compromised in this leak. There was a dude with a spanner. I do get those. I don't know if you guys have got them with those things where it's like, oh, your password's compromised. And I get them so frequently, I just stopped changing my password. Because I just figure, look, it doesn't matter how many times I change my password. I have so many accounts across so many different things that it's just eventually one of them is going to leak it, and then it's not going to be it's going to be broken again. And I can't keep changing my password across the 1,000 accounts I have across 1,000 different websites every time friggin' I don't know, Argos or whatever accidentally sends out a spreadsheet with my name on it, you know? It's like, it's fine. I have two-factor. Although, maybe I should be saying this. I did turn two-factor off on my Twitch account, on my Twitter account, because I couldn't log in. I got a new work laptop. I complained last week my fan was broken. I have a new work laptop now. It is fine, but I had to reset all of my password. I had to reset up everything, and I use Twitter when I'm at work because I'm not a good employee. And I tried signing in, and it said, "Oh, you need to use your authenticator app because they got rid of the phone two-factor, so you can't text yourself anymore." And I was trying for ages to try and get it to work, and I couldn't get it to work. And I went, "I'm still logged in on my home PC. I'm just going to log in, turn it off, and then sign in." On my work PC, which is what I did. And then I realized later that day when I was trying to sign into Twitch, I was actually using the Authenticator app for Twitch and not Twitter, which is why the code wasn't working. Because apparently I can't read. So I need to turn it back on at some point. So yeah, if you want to try and hack my Twitter account, for all 199 followers I have, 190 of which I'm pretty sure are bots or people trying to sound people who are expert graphic designers. Now's the time. With Endwalker, once we turn the universe off, we stop existing. We can't turn it back on, and that's the end of part of Endwalker. Well, there's another expansion, so they must find a way to turn it back on. It's fine. Every time I log on Google, once my password's been found in a leak, and I need to change it. Yeah, it's like it's to the point where it's just like, well, it's too much. Everything leaks too often. I have no money, no credit, and no assets. If I'm trying to use my name. Yeah, I mean. The thing is, my most important stuff is password protected, and it's like two-factor protected. So, like, you know, if someone wants to log into my Neopets account and feed my Neopets, you go for it. I don't care. Clearly, I haven't fed them in decades. What motherfucker's gonna do with my Twitch? Make me follow people I don't want to watch. Yeah, I don't really know what people do with. I think most Twitch accounts you want protection just to stop people like trying to hack into your account and troll you, like close your account, I guess. And I guess that's with Twitter. I think it's tweeting out Bitcoin scams, which is a tautology. And shit like that. But again, I think most of the people who follow me are already bots and scammers. I think I have like a dozen real people who follow me. Yeah, Twitter's. I do wonder, because you mostly use Twitter just to advertise streams when I'm about to go live. Does anyone actually use Twitter to tell when I'm live, or do you just use the Twitch notification when I go live, or just see me on Twitch and say hi? Because I have been thinking recently, like, I'm getting no engagement, and I'm not paying for Twitter Blue, or X Blue, or whatever it's fucking called now. I'm not paying for it, and I just kind of get to the point where I'm like, is it just the time where it's just like it's time to stop using Twitter? I see on Twitch I use both. See, that's the thing. I am paranoid because my friends have told me that they sometimes do and sometimes don't get the Twitch notification to say that I'm live. So I am paranoid about just relying on Twitch to tell people that I'm live. And so I do rely on the Twitter. I mean, it's not like I have an alternative. Threads isn't available in Europe, and I can't get on B-Sky yet because I think you need an invite or you need a queue or something. And it's like, what about? I mean, I could post on Facebook. I actually did use Facebook for a little while for my YouTube channel back in the day. I even paid for adverts because they were quite cheap, and I found out, in years since, that Facebook completely lied about their number of engagements. They're like, oh yeah, for 10 quid we'll get you 1,000. We'll make sure 1,000 people see your ad, and it's like it never worked. It never actually helped. Next time I get an invite code, I can send it your way on Blue Sky. I would appreciate that, because I would quite like to at least try and secure a name on Blue Sky, and Threads. I mean, I do have an Instagram account, which I don't use, but I do have one. So I guess that name's guaranteed on that. I assume it uses the same name as as your Instagram account. I don't know. But I would appreciate that if you do get an invite code. That'd be very nice of you. Thank you. Because I mean, it's just he wants to get rid of blocking, and the reason he wants to get rid of blocking is because everyone's blocking adverts and they're blocking Twitter Blue users, and I bet they've seen a downturn in Twitter Blue subscribers because they keep getting blocked by accounts they follow, and so they're like, well, we need to get rid of blocking because it's affecting the bottom line. Isn't the internet great? Anyway, that's enough to talk about passwords. Let's enter this password. Freedom. The password is freedom. I was quite close with courage then. Although I said Wild Rose in the end. Short and simple, just as I said. Would you care to do the honours, Your Highness? I would, milady. It's a terrible password. It needs at least a special character and a number. Note, open the report entitled Iconic Corruption and Overview. Password, freedom. It's like you need to say it with a capital F. Password accepted. Bloop. Opening report. Help me, Obi-Wan. This report seeks to provide an overview of the mechanism by which icons corrupt and bind men to their will. Hello, I'm Owen, and this is my TED Talk. The phenomenon we call corruption refers to the alteration of ether of the soul. The E's are threes, password rejected. like, how can you tell how I'm saying it? It's like, I know, I'm from the future past. Said ether ordinarily exists in equilibrium, no one element being more prominent than another. But when a subject is exposed to the ether of an icon, this changes, their soul taking on the properties of the entity in question. I have lots of arms. By way of an example, exposure to the ether of the fiend Sephiroth would cause a subject's ether to become aligned with the element of earth. I think we get to fight Sephiroth at some point. Because I remember being excited briefly, and then I realised, oh wait, no, it's a different dude, isn't it? As a consequence, the subject would attain heightened affinity with earth-aspected magics, as well as preternatural levels of endurance. Repeated exposure would further enhance these traits, ultimately altering the subject's very flesh. Blah. Now I am this thing. The changes undergone by the subject are not solely attributable to elemental alignment, however. Further testing has determined that the subject's soul becomes umbrally charged, or stagnant during the process. This stagnation of the soul has the effect of diluting the sense of self, rendering the subject vulnerable to the will of the icon, the thoughts of whom come to consume their entire existence. Be great if Tartaru was just nodding off, just yep. No. In this manner, do the corrupted become worshippers of the icon, their prayers serving to further empower the entity. This is an incredible PowerPoint presentation he's got here. Having discerned the mechanism of iconic corruption, my colleagues and I set out to develop a material capable of shielding one from its effects. An endeavour in which we were successful, albeit at a great cost. I love the idea, though, that it looks really impressive to us, but all of these effects he's doing are like standard transition effects in the Allergan version of PowerPoint, and so it's like it's the equivalent of having texts in Comic Sans spin onto the page. It just looks incredibly cheap, but to us, it looks amazing. It's like, oh, I use the iconic punch-shattering transition effect. Ugh. It's Mysterio with a better costume. He has got the big fishbowl head. But other than that, I can see it. In the course of testing, many of my assistants, good men and women all, fell victim to corruption. And in accordance with protocol, they were summarily put to death. I've subsequently submitted a proposal to investigate potential cures for corruption, but was rejected, deemed non-essential by Lord Amon. Oh wait, no, Amon's fine. You don't have to take a shot for Amon. Though I knew it would be fruitless, I protested the decision, and for my impertinence, I have been stripped of rank and title, and will be shortly expelled from this facility. So I'm going to hide inside this yellow ball for 1,000 years. In all likelihood, this report will be expunged from the archives. Nonetheless, I recorded in the hope that one day someone will undertake to do that which I could not, and find a cure for the victims of iconic corruption. End recording. So not even the Allagans were able to find a cure. Or rather, were not given the chance to do so. One cannot help but wonder what motivated Lord Amon's decision. More importantly, this confirms that stagnation of the soul is indeed the problem, and Angelo can remedy that. True, yet were we to simply reanimate a tempered soul, I fear it would do naught to diminish the individual's fanatical faith. Indeed, it may well intensify it. What we need to do is channel their fanatical faith into something more constructive, like pottery, or triple triad, and the warrior just perks up. What? No, we would somehow need to suppress the primal's hold over the subject at the same time, or risk them ever remaining its thrall. Well, I mean, we killed the primal that it was fanatical to. Well, I guess that actually doesn't matter, because the snakes were still adamant, weren't they? If we could only make them remember who they were. Redirect it into Gunpla. Yeah, just into like a really wholesome hobby that they can really like become fanatical about. But of course, memory transference. The process has the effect of compartmentalizing memories, separating them into manageable bundles, if you will. Oh, we're going to lobotomize them! By adapting the technique, it may be possible to achieve selective reanimation. That is, limit the effects to only those memories that existed prior to tempering. Oh, it's more like restoring them to a previous version. We'd be annoyed if we go and find Alisaie's little friend. She's like, he didn't save a backup version, unfortunately. We can't restore to a previous version. We're going to have to wipe the hard drive and just start completely over. Just going to have to reinstall all of his skills. Though, through thus restoring the sense of self, we could theoretically drown out the incitements of false faith, which would come to dominate the individual's thoughts. I see. The theory seems sound, and our experience treating the light corrupted would help us identify suitable memories for reanimation. But are you confident you can adapt memory transference as required? I seem to recall your attempts to do so while trying to bring us home culminated in literal bloodletting. It's like, it's fine, I've got loads of blood. They did, you're right. Despite my best efforts, I could not recreate the mechanism, and I can see that the rather clumsy compromise I reached would not provide the basis for a cure. Then perhaps it's better we consider another approach. Your doubts are understandable, but this time I believe we have reason to be confident. You see nodes such as this were built with the ability to simulate magics. Are you talking about me? Sorry, I dozed off for a second there. Which leads me to believe that it may be capable of performing simulations of the transference technique. If so, we would be able to conduct years' worth of tests within the space of a few days. In theory, it would be no different from how we identified the password. But it will take more calculating power, a lot more. I honestly couldn't say whether our equipment would be up to the task. We're going to need some kind of Bitcoin farm. Tartaru's like, well, you're in luck. I had one of my other side hustles while you were in the first. Is just that. And it's like, oh cool, let's go out to the desert and see Tataru's Bitcoin farm. Tell me, Sid, what do you suppose Owen locked his report behind a... Why do you suppose Owen locked his report behind a password? Because they were deleting it. Who is Sunglasses Hulk RPD cosplay just standing there? That is either Biggs or Wedge. I can't remember which one is which. They are Sid's lackeys / friends. Scion coins, yeah. They're called Scion coins, but the symbol of them is just Tartaru's face, just going like the Dogecoin. To keep it from prying eyes, of course. Why else? Wait, a password that could be guessed by anyone with leisure in a dictionary wouldn't keep it from a person minded to look. No, he wanted his report to be seen by those who strive for freedom. Not unlike the members of a certain distinguished engineering collective. I believe their motto is freedom through technology or some such. You two, round up as many Magitech terminals as you can find and bring them to the workshop. Right away, Chief! Okay, then he is Biggs, because the little one's Wedge. Things are about to get very busy. Lucky we have you here to help, eh? Is that what this is? Is this Tartaru's Bitcoin miner? I just wish they just sort of pushed the narrative that Tartaru just got into lots of hobbies while she was away. She's like, I built an airship, a gunpla, I got the Bitcoin farming, I got a new fashion line. I'm the captain of a team of pirates. Right. Well, Grahat here and I configure the terminals. I want the rest of you to procure supplies. Namely, food and snacks and drinks, because, you know, we're gonna get hungry during this. It's gonna take a while. Might be up all night. No, namely ceruleum to fuel the terminals and ice shards to keep them cool. The more we have of both, the better. Leave the ice shards to me. I'll round up some adventurers and go on a gathering spree. In that case, I'll trust Jack and Alice with the ceruleum. Here's a promissory note for each of you. Take them to the Sky Steel manufacturing in Ishgard and the ceruleum processing plant in Thanalan. The people there will give you what we need. Yours is a well-known face in the Holy See, I believe. If it's all the same to you, I'll head to Thanalan. Yeah, I got friends in Ishgard. I can go and check in on old Emmerich, Sir Emmerich. That's his name. First, Sid is hot. Sid is hot. Two, I love the big ones, Bigs. Why does your Sid accent sound like he's in the Beatles? That is... it's technically my Ringo Starr impersonation, because it's one of the only voices I can do. It's supposed to be an Obi-Wan impersonation, because there was a time when Sid didn't have a voice actor, and the first time we met him, he had a hood. He had a robe on that made him look like Obi-Wan, so I gave him an Obi-Wan voice. You know, kind of. And then he had a voice actor now. He sounds nothing like the voice I've given him, but he shows up so infrequently I can't be bothered to, like, remember what his voice is supposed to sound like, so I just give him that voice. Tataro needs her own anime so we can finally see all the weird shit she does off screen. Well, I know that she's got a side quest in Endwalker, which I'm very excited to do. Oh, you're the gun leg guy, aren't you? No. This is the one you do if you want to get guns. I mean, I'm summarising that maybe a bit too harshly, but it is the length and breadth of what happens. I just got a new sword, though, so I don't need a gun. You stand in the Sky Steel manufactory. What is it you require? There you go. So you were after ceruleum. In that case, please present your note to our engineer at the airship landing. He shall be glad to assist you. Off you go, hero of Ishgard, Dragon Slayer. Yes, I know who you are. I'm just rude. Gun boys, yeah. But if I want to be a gun boy, I'm going to wait until the pirate class is out next year. Like, anyone can shoot a gun, but a cool dude shoots a flintlock pistol. Ceruleum? You've come to the right man. Fair warning, though. The price is shot up on account of the uncertainty with the Empire. So, you've got the coin. I have this. That's not money. So, yeah, well, good luck with that. They don't pay me for being the Warrior of Light. Well, now, a promissory note from the Ironworks. Don't see many of these. Not that it's a problem. It's as good as gold to me. Honestly, Ishgardians would be rude like that, even if the Warrior of Light. Oh, I know, they're pricks. Like, I like Sir Emmerich and, like, his friends. Speak of the devil.
My friend! After the disappointment of not seeing you in Alamigo, what good fortune to chance upon you here of all places.
Yeah, I'm convinced they had to do these voices at home. I'm convinced that because they all sound like wrong. They're definitely. It's definitely the. I think pretty sure it's the right voice actors, but they all sound like they're using different microphones to normal, so I'm convinced they recorded these at home.
As you may have heard, the Allied nations are making a renewed effort to address the primal problem.
You saved the whole word 50 times, but are you of noble blood? No, filth. It's like, wouldn't we have a whole thing where like the whole nobility and the church and everything tried to destroy Ishgard? And like we're perpetrating a lie about the War of Dragons for hundreds of years. It's like, yes, but you know, tradition is tradition.
To that end have I invited the chieftain of the Vanu to Ishgard, that we might together plot a course.
Hello! I'm the
Since
chief
the
of
war
the
with the Empire
Vanu.
appears to be nearing its conclusion, I would also like to call upon Estinian's lance. Alas, he is, as ever, a difficult man to find.
Literally, or is that a euphemism?
I am informed he recently paid a visit to the Rising Stones. Should he happen to do so again, be sure to pass on my regards, won't you?
Yeah.
But tell me, what business brings you to our fair city this day?
Getting some petrol so we can open up an old Allegan... Wait, no, what we do?
A cure for tempering.
Oh, yeah.
You
that's
never
it.
cease to amaze me. Until now, our only hope has been prevention, our every failure irrevocable. But this would rewrite the rules of engagement. It could end the cycle of bloodshed.
Emmerich, I don't remember you being quite so enthusiastic. I get the feeling that your voice actor is happy to be in work for a change. Because it's just like, oh, yeah, I haven't done any voice acting work for like 3 years. I don't know if that's true, but...
Very well. You shall have all the ceruleum we can provide, and an airship with which to transport it.
I know that it's been about, like... It would have been a, like... When did Emmerich last show up? The end of Heavensward? No. He showed up after Heavensward. Stormblood, I guess, like, early Stormblood? So yeah, probably like 2 years at least since he's voiced this character. And he's just like, can't remember how. He's like, was Sir Emmerich like really enthusiastic? Yeah, probably. My wife wants to open up a pound shop downtown when he wants to sell small ceramic chocobos. That sounds like a quality business idea to me.
In this matter, you may count on Ishgard's full support.
I mean, most of it. There's not much else to spend your money on around here. I'd happily have a entire, like, army of tiny ceramic chocobos in my flat. God knows there's bugger all else in it at the moment. I've just got I've got a bed, a table, and a load of wall scrolls. I should at some point sit down and properly decorate my flat, but I can't be bothered. Maybe that's what I should do as my photo for the competition. Of my summation of my experiences in Final Fantasy XIV. It's just me in my flat drinking tea with all of the sort of haphazard random shit behind me that I've stuffed into my flat. Because all it is stuff from... Oh wow, the Scion coin mine operation really ramped up. Hi! We have commandeered every graphics card in Eorzea.
Who would have thought ceruleum weighed so much? Serves me right for being stubborn, I suppose. I should have just done what you did and accepted help.
Yeah, think smarter, not harder, I'd say.
Good work, you two. This is all we asked for and more. quite a lot more now that I look at it. Lord Emmerich, eh? And entirely by chance. Ha! Some people have all the luck.
It's like, well, good thing we've got all this ice to cool down our equipment. And Tatu was like, "Oh, you meant actual ice? No, this is one of the other things I've been doing. This is my crystal meth supply. It's blue. It's signature." I'm just like, well, we can't. Oh.
We have also succeeded in configuring the terminals, thanks in no small part to our able assistant.
I don't know, it just tickles me the idea that Tartary's been breaking bad whilst we've been fighting the Asians. Kryl, we gotta cook! We gotta cook, Kryl!
It's been a while, hero. Oh, you seem surprised to see me. Lest you misunderstand, I've no interest in such things as cures for tempering.
I actually forgot that Nero got a job at Garland Ironworks. It's been so long since he showed up.
But if you mean to achieve that which eluded even the storied Allagans, it seemed plain that you would require my expertise. And so it proved. Is that not right, Garland?
I love Nero. He's my favourite of the Garleans that didn't die. That totally died, but didn't die.
Jessie. She was the one who hired you. All I know is you're an employee of the Ironworks now,
Jessie!
so you'll bloody well earn your keep.
She has been breaking bad.
That wasn't the only reason I agreed to cooperate. I'm reliably informed that Garland and I are destined to unravel the secrets of travel, not only across dimensions, but through time. Doubtless the lion's share of the credit lies with me. 9 parts to Garland's 1. And this research will be a stepping stone to that illustrious achievement.
Very well then. I'll do 1/10 of the work. Just the part that's beyond you.
Whatever you say, Garland.
I kind of want to get those sunglasses, but the thing is, I know that you have to go to quite a lot of effort to get them, and I know that I'll put them on and go like, nah, I like my old sunglasses better.
Right. If everyone's ready, let's begin.
I would like some aviators, because I like aviators, but they don't exist.
All appears to be in order. Now, we just have to wait for it to find us our magic. Why not take this opportunity to put your feet up? This may take a while.
Nero's the only one we didn't actually kill. His fight ends with him turning the light off the light and running away in the dark while calling us cowards. That does ring a bell, actually. Yes. I ran with one was a very long time ago, but yes, that does ring a bell, actually. I like that they patched one of the other Garlean boss fights from when I did it, because I think when I did it, that it was an 8-man trial, and so it was 8 of you just curb stomping this one Garlean guy, and they've now turned it into an instance, so you have a one-on-one fight with him, which is much better.
Damn it. It's overloading.
Yeah, I guess it's just like you're supposed to have this like climactic one-on-one fight with this guy, and then just 7 of your mates show up, and you just curb stomp the guy until he dies. Like it wasn't even that. It's not even a difficult fight. But one-on-one, I could see it being a bit more tricky.
She won't last much longer.
Cape Westwood, is that what they call it?
We'll have to shut it down.
Wait! We're close. So very close.
Let her cook.
Oh,
Well, this is going swimmingly.
Please, a moment longer. I beg you.
Maybe we should use that ice that's in the crates behind you.
There.
I was able to memorize the magic before it faded. It still needs to be put to the proof, but I believe we have our cure.
I think Grauhatir might be a genius. Like, he's very like humble and modest and timid and stuff, but he's like, yeah, I memorized it. Wesker. Yeah, Nero does have a very Weskery look to him, doesn't he? He was...
It's just as well. She'll never run again.
Tartarus like, no! My Bitcoin wallet! My Ethereum... I don't know anything really about Bitcoin mining. I don't... I know it requires graphics cards and farms. And there's a wallet. And a cloud.
The fault is mine. I'm sorry.
Don't be. It may fall short of dimension hopping, but a cure for tempering is not to be sniffed at.
Yeah, he is very Wesker looking, now that you mention it. I always just think, because he started off as a Beetleborg, and then became... Oh no, he was a Digimon. He was the Digimon looking one, and then he got covered in blood. I think at some point it was covered in mud or dirt or so. There was definitely a scene of him covered in something with some twins. I feel like that's enough information. And now he's Wesker.
This, my friend, is a world-changing discovery. One we're proud to have had a hand in. A few Magitech terminals are a pittance to pay.
Thank you.
Well, we've done what we can. The rest is up to you.
This is like, I will punch it. It's like, well, let's say it's a little misguided, but she's got the right spirit. Wesker if he did Auron cosplay. Where is he? Is he gone? He's not still hanging around, is he? They just all pack up and leave. Oh yeah, they were out of here in a shot, weren't they? Oh, well, okay. Nero's probably somewhere in the world. Ooh, croissant, waffle, stuffed Highland cabbage. I always like the food options because they sound lovely, but I always just go for the money. At long last, we have our cure. In theory, at any rate, we cannot be certain until such a time as we put it to the proof, but I am quietly confident. Well, if we're to test it on someone, then I suggest Gabu. His symptoms are relatively mild. Plus, his family is all dead, so no one will miss him if something goes wrong. As long as you exercise... It'll be fine, I'm sure of it. Yes, as long as we exercise due caution, it will be fine. Without further ado, then let's make for Limsa. We've kept Gabu waiting long enough. Let's go to Limsa, where the cat girls roam. And the cat boys. See? So many of them. Maelstrom Command. We like cat people. Dominion Tank Police made sure of that. Oh man, Dominion Tank Police. That is an anime I have not thought about for a very long time. Oh, that is up there with like Appleseed. Yeah. It's one of those animes that I like so very vaguely remember watching. I don't remember anything about it. Like Project Echo and what was the other one? This is where we get a London check. Yeah, because I vaguely recall lots of 80s anime that I would watch at like 2 AM on the Sci-Fi Channel. Ranma Hub. I never actually watched Ranma. We didn't get Ranma in the UK. We had Tenchi Muyo on Toonami. And we had a lot of stuff on Sci-Fi Channel. We had Project Echo. We had the Castle of Cagliostro, which was my first ever anime, the first ever anime I watched all the way through, and is still one of my favourites. I friggin' love Castle of Cagliostro. It's the only anime I own on Blu-ray. What am I thinking of? It's not Gunbuster, but Gunbuster is around the same time as well. Maybe I'm just thinking of Appleseed. I'm sure there was another, like, police mech series around that time. Where they remade Appleseed for Netflix? When did that happen? Was it good? Is it CGI or is it bad live action? It looks like CGI. Wait, hang on. There was a 2004 film. 25% of critics are positive. Okay, that's not great. Appleseed manga, hang on. When was the Netflix series? Tie-in books, adaptations... Okay, Appleseed Alpha. Oh, apparently it reviewed okay. Got nominated for some awards. Oh, those are some deep cuts. I've not heard of Green Legend Ram or Iria. Or Gunsmith Cats. Bubblegum Crisis might be what I was trying to think of. That sounds right. I have... Oh man, I love that 80s anime look. Like, when every character had the big fringe that, like... It was basically a pompadour fringe. Oh, and those mech suits. What a time to be alive. They don't make them like that anymore. Robotech as well, actually. And there was, what's this? Macross is the other one, where they used to sing in space. Oh, I'm just Googling old 80s animes now and just looking at pictures of them and being like, yeah, I remember this. I remember this. Patlabor. That's the one I was thinking of. Patlabor. I skipped over that to read Robotech. But yes, Patlabor was the one I was thinking of. And I'm surprised I don't remember it because I played City Shrouded in Shadow within the last 5 years, and that had Patlabor in it. That had Evangelion, Patlabor, Godzilla, and what was the other shit it had in it? Ultraman. That was an insane game. But yeah, man, I haven't watched any of those shows in so long. Like there was a time in the late 90s where you just watch whatever you could, because like anime was like gold dust. You just watched what you could get your hands on, and so you just buy like VHSs from car boot sales or from charity shops. And I don't know how these videos got to this country, but they found their way. And then you'd get random stuff like Golden Boy and Die Guard. Although I think that Die Guard might have been slightly later. I think Die Guard was probably from like 2002. Oh no, 1999 to 2000. It wasn't quite as later than those 80s shows though, but man, I miss those days. Ordering knockoff DVD box sets from eBay. That's how I watched the first 100 episodes of Naruto. And quite a lot of Bleach. And then the internet happened. And then you just watch everything on, you just streamed everything or downloaded it through Napster or whatever. I don't regret selling all of my VHS anime tapes, because I did get rid of them all at some point, but because they did take up a lot of space, and honestly, they probably, like, the tape would have degraded by now, I would have thought. But it would be cool to just find them in a box somewhere and be like, ah, look at all this shit. Well, that's enough of a trip down memory lane. Well, this is the moment of truth. I'll have our hosts bring Gabu to us at once.
Apologies for the wait.
This is Gabu. He lost his mind.
Gabu, have you been good?
And Alisaie's been trying to fix him.
Still no change, I'm afraid. He just stands there in silence until we move him.
It's all right now. We're going to help you get better.
And we're going to do it in the rain, because why not?
Fancy meeting you here.
Alphino Y'shtola! I thought you were attending to primal matters.
We were, and came here for a meeting on the subject. Certain pirate factions did not deign to attend, however, and it was cancelled.
We had resigned ourselves to having wasted a journey when we chanced to espy you. Could it be that there has been progress with the treatment?
Well, we're skipping trials and we're going right. Well, we're not going. We're doing a Gabu trial before we test it on humans.
Using Magitech terminals to formulate the solution. I would never have contemplated such an approach.
So this new magic, adapted from memory transference, would be used to purge the subject of their fanatical faith, while Angelo would be responsible for reanimating the ether of their soul. Yet I wonder at the practicalities. If one were to reanimate the soul first, it would only serve to exacerbate the tempering. Conversely, a stagnant soul would not respond to the effects of the magic. Would both need to be performed simultaneously?
Ah, nothing escapes Master Matoya's inquiring eye. As you say, both must be carried out simultaneously. And thus, I propose to imbue Angelo with the tempering treatment in much the same manner as I did the spirit vessels.
I don't know what Angelo is. Oh, it's the flying pig thing. I remember now.
By doing so, we also spare Graha the trouble of casting spell after spell. It's really rather efficient.
Be that as it may, certain difficulties are unavoidable. The imbuing process will still require no small amount of ether. And, as I can no longer draw upon the Crystal Tower's stores of energy, I will be compelled to rely on those of others.
Yeah, Angelo's adorable. It only shows up when we need it, though. Like, to use it for something.
I, for one, would be glad to assist.
As would I. Since the resumption of our duties, it has been naught but stuffy meetings, and I have ample ether to spare.
So do I.
Excellent. With your permission, then, let us begin.
Yeah, I can teleport, like, multiple times. With no, like... Okay, well, I'll just stand here then, it's fine.
Yes, this will do. And now, it's my turn.
So seriously, I have a near unlimited pool of ether. It's just like you could have taken mine. It's fine. Andrew was just like, here we go again.
'Tis done.
No small amount indeed.
Well, we seek to go where even the Allagans did not. It was never like to be easy. The rest is up to you, Alize. The treatment itself will take time and focus, so we will need a quiet room. I'm sure our hosts can spare one.
I think I have a back room back there we could use. Or my hotel's not only around the corner.
It may be a while before we return, so I would ask for your patience and your faith.
We'll bring Gabu back. You see if we don't.
'Twould seem our part is played. Let us find a place to recuperate while we wait for news.
Is it not going to be traumatic to the people who had to, like, slay their tempered allies and friends and family by the dozens to find out that there's a cure? And they're going to be like, oh, so you're saying that if we just, like, had tied them up and kept them alive all this time, you could have turned them back? And it's like, yeah, it turns out. Must be like after a zombie movie, like a zombie apocalypse, where they get to the end of the field, they're like, we've got the cure, and you're like, I have shot so many of these things, like in the head. We can't cure those ones. I had a chainsaw at one part. I mean, we went to a school. Shoot them in the head, go for pizza. I mean, yeah. Hole up in the Winchester, wait for the whole thing to blow over. That's what you do. Trying to find a cure is just asking for trouble. Well, this seems as good a spot as any to have a rest. Wait, where are they going? Oh, okay. There is a literal pub, like 100 meters away from here, where we could sit and have a drink and not be
For
rained on.
years, Eorzea has laboured to find a solution to the primal problem, without success. Any hope that tempering could be reversed faded long ago. I myself had given it up as impossible. Given up on the tempered and the light-corrupted alike. They were problems to be tolerated, or else eliminated, I believed. And to think otherwise was pure naivety. Childishness, even.
Seriously, I've got there's an inn above it's a tavern. I have a room. I could get a towel, we could dry our hair, play some darts.
But Alisaie refused to give up.
No, okay.
She struggled and she struggled. And her efforts were rewarded with a way to bring back Halric. And now countless others may no longer be beyond salvation. However much we bicker, I have the greatest respect for my sister. Had I half her stubbornness, nay, her unwillingness to accept the status quo, I would be a far better person. A far better scion.
We can rent a snooker table. I'll put some gil down on the side. We'll get Nexies. If it's any consolation, she's in awe of your work.
She told you of my graduation thesis. How very embarrassing. Nonetheless, it is comforting and not a little surprising to hear that I'm still capable of impressing my sister. On the rare occasions I'm not annoying her, that is.
Speaking of zombies.
Alisaie, are you all right?
The treatment. Did it work?
Oh, I'm so glad to see you all. Delighted, happy, glad.
Yay!
Gaboo!
Gaboo! Do you remember who Hythaladius is? Name rings a bell. Hythaladius. No. I remember the name, but I don't remember who it was. Old knee friend. Old new friend. Oh. Hang on, let me Google them. It's gonna bug me now. Oh, yeah. It was the Asian. Do not Google, do not Google. Too late. This is why you shouldn't do these things. But it was the Asian. Yeah, who I guess comes, yeah. It's fine. I mean, it's only a spoiler for a little bit. I'm at that bit. Yeah, you're quite a ways off. The bit where you have to do the piece of candy quest, where you're just running through
All this time,
Amarok.
my mind was filled with thoughts of Great Father Titan. But I never forgot about Mother and Father. Always, they were in my heart, Constantly, ever, always. So I tried to focus on their faces. Theirs and yours. Alize's and everyone's. And I found that I could remember. One thing, then another, and another.
Your hopes reached Gaboo. They helped him to hold on.
I didn't do anything. I wanted to cave his head in with a pipe.
I'm so proud of you, Gaboo.
There's a reason there's only one of him. Because we killed all the rest of them. We slaughtered them wholesale.
I couldn't have done it without you, Alize. Can you help the others too? Cure them, heal them, help them?
Yes, we can. All of them.
Without wishing to dampen the mood, I feel compelled to add certain caveats regarding the viability of the treatment for general use.
So yeah, we can technically cure people 1 a week because it requires 4 persons ether in order to cure 1 person. And, you know, there's a refractory period on that. We need to, like, store it back up again.
As you know, reversing the effects of tempering demands a profuse amount of ether. And while Alize was able to heal Gaboo alone, I fear the same will not be true for those who exhibit more advanced symptoms. Moreover, the treatment's effects are limited to the soul. It offers no succor to those whose very flesh has been altered through prolonged exposure to a primal's influence. All of which is to say that we cannot save everyone.
Maybe we can't, or maybe we can. No one gave us a hope of saving Gaboo, and yet here we are. We must find a way to treat as many as possible.
Then the next logical step would be to produce a veritable army of Porkses, would it not? Granted, it seemed a simple enough process in the first, but I suspect it will be different here in the source. Not that I am any authority, of course.
Yet there is an authority on familiars to whom we may grudgingly turn. She's stubborn, haughty, eccentric, irascible, laconic, annoying. And her name is Master Matoya, the real one.
I was going to say, I thought you were talking about yourself for your dollar. Ew!
I have to go now, Gaboo. But the people here will look after you, all right? And I promise to come and visit you again soon.
All right. Thank you, Alize. Thank you.
Boy! Save Gaboo. What time is it? The next back to Gauntlet and then kill Elidibus. Yeah, I don't think you're going to be caught up in time because I think the next quest is a dungeon. So, as she would be at pains to remind me, I have not paid Master Matoya a visit since returning from the first. But this seems as good as time as any. Come, let us make for her cave. Master Matoya is another character who we only ever visit when we want something. Yashdola's a terrible daughter. So we need to go to Idil Shire. I can't believe they didn't put an Itherite shard. Like, just put one here. Like, the amount of times we have to go to friggin' Matoya's cave. There we go. Oh, and now it stops raining. best way out is. Let's fly, my giant eye. Yeah, I think I'll do this dungeon with NPCs, and then I guess just endeavour to get caught up for the final dungeon in the next patch. And you got plenty of time to, because as I said, I'm not playing Final Fantasy XIV for the next 2 weeks, because there are other RPGs to play. It's unfortunate timing, but we will play a Final Fantasy, so it's still, one of them will still be a Final Fantasy Friday with Friends. Trademark. It'll just be Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, which, I still don't know. I still don't know about that game. I mean, I'll play it to find out whether I like it. I didn't read any reviews about the closed beta, so I don't know if it's any if it got received well. I take it you are ready to bear witness to the joyous reunion of master and pupil. Very well. I wonder how Master Matoya is going to react to the fact that you identity thefted her.
Nary a word from you all this time, then you bring every man and his pirogo with you. Did no one teach you any manners, girl?
They were too busy teaching me etherology, Master. Jesting aside, I wanted to be the one to express our gratitude. I am told you spared no effort to sustain our bodies while we were away. And for that, we owe you our lives. Thank you.
You were gone so long. I was starting to think you'd set your heart on staying.
It wasn't easy to leave, as it happens. Seldom does one have the opportunity to study other worlds, and I would not have minded extending my stay by a handful of years.
Yeah. I had a boy toy. He was a lion. He was great.
Ever the scholar. Y'shtola dedicated herself to studying ancient civilizations of the First, befriending a tribe known as the Knight Blessed in the process. There she took on the name of Matoya and won the respect of all the children of the forest.
Straight up confessing her identity theft to her mum.
I merely adopted an alias in accordance with the custom of my hosts. Yours just happened to be the first name that came to mind.
You mean to tell me you went gallivanting about using my name and only bother to visit when you need a favor? And don't pretend you don't. I taught you long enough.
I mean, it's absolutely true that we only visit Master Matoya when we need something. Like, every time.
Indeed. And devoted pupil that I am, I could not fail to recall my master's sage advice. When the answer eludes you, look to the wisdom of your elders.
You there. Were you going to introduce yourself?
I don't know that Matoya's actually that much older than Y'shtola.
How remiss of me. Grahatia is my name, and I am proud to call myself a scion. I too wish to offer my gratitude for your invaluable aid in sustaining the Archon's bodies, as well as my apologies. It was my inexpert summoning spell which endangered their lives in the first place.
Ah, yes. The one bent on digging up the mysteries of Alag. Old Galaf used to speak of you, and Kryles told me all about your recent exploits. Do you have a bad back or something? At ease, boy. whatever mess you've made. I'm not in the habit of dwelling on the failings of the younger generation.
You are too kind. I've also heard much and more about you, Master Matoya. 'Tis an honor to finally make your acquaintance.
Well, that's more than enough pleasantries for anyone. Tell me what you want. I haven't got all day.
Yeah, I think you probably do. I genuinely thought for a second that Alistair was going to T-pose. I don't know why. Just trying to assert her dominance over Master Matoya.
So that's the way of it. It should be a simple enough matter to make the familiar. The magic, on the other hand.
Ah, that you may leave to me. Being the only one possessed of royal blood, I alone can imbue the subject with the necessary magic.
So I just need to create porkses with the power to stir the soul. Just, I say. Though we're talking about a veritable herd of the little buggers, we'd collapse before we reached double figures. But if I could get a familiar to create the familiars, a mother porksy, as it were.
Is there a mother broom somewhere?
Seems I haven't seen the last of that moldy old hole after all.
There's a joke here somewhere, but let's gloss over it. I'm supposed to give a shot real quick to see if she's still mad at Alpha though. Moldy old hole. She really must miss the place. Okay. Alright, off to my old workshop then. Everything required to make your familiar is there. That may be, but no one has set foot in there since the Exodus. I dread to imagine what has become of it. Oh, there's sure to be a handful of feral familiars and mayhap a monster or two, but nothing to trouble the likes of you. You can consider cleaning up the place payment for my help. Fine, we'll do it. Good girl. Now, if there are no other objections, I suggest you run along to the Maker's Quarter. I'll send one of my porogos ahead of you to let you into the workshop. You need only tell him who you are. One can't be too careful, after all. Off you go. Wait, we don't have a tank. Thancred isn't with us. Is Grahar a tank? He doesn't look like a tank. He looks like a twink. Can he multi-class? It tickles me about me wearing the ranger costume and being grabbed by a giant evil hand. It's like, into danger, Geki Genga. Hi, Alexander. I will one day come and do something with you. I love still that they had this cutscene with this giant robot coming out of the lake, and then it was never mentioned again in the main story scenario quest because no one, if you don't go and do the raid, no one mentions it. Avoid getting bonked against a tree. Hello, the unwashed. How unwashed you have to be for that to be your title. Great Greetings, Ribbit. Welcome to my master's relic. Toro Rocco is my name, and I am honored to be your guide. Then you will find a space dedicated to the making of familiars, along with a cabin wherein the requisite material ingredients may be had. I must warn you, however, that the place has not played host to a single soul, much less a broom, in over 15 years, and will, I regret, be in some disarray. But rest assured, my brothers and I shall see to it that you do not lose your way. Now then, Ribbit, only say the word, and I will show you in. There we go, Matoya's relict. Let's do it. Yeah, so Gra, are you a tank? He is a tank. He is considered an all-rounder. Okay, well...
I stand ever ready. I stand ever ready. I stand ever ready. I stand ever ready.
Victory will be ours! Victory will be ours! Let's give it our all! Victory will be ours!
My strength is yours!
Sorry, Alice. I like you, Alice, but I like Y'shtola better. We have to kill wizard frogs.
Right. To begin with, I need you to gather a few ingredients. Listen well to what the Porogos say, or you'll wish you had.
Why does Grahatia have a sword made out of pure light? And a shield. Is he just... I guess he's just summoned up a magic sword and shield to match whichever class he needs to be. That's convenient. Alright, first thing's supposed to be to harvest some clay. To the grind gun. Please follow me and put down any pests that bar the way. Seems pretty straightforward so far. Oh, imagine soon I'll be doing this with a samurai sword. Fighting a werewood. So these people that turned into tree monsters. What's up, frog? Toya said I had to listen to you. You've not said anything worth listening to yet. I was like, yeah, just kill all the shit that gets in my way. Thanks. Cave tarantula hawk. That looks like neither a tarantula nor a hawk. Is that a type of bee? Oh, Spriggan! Speaking of 80s and 90s anime, that's another one. I don't remember what Spriggan was about, but I remember watching it. Speaking of anime, that One Piece live action is about to come out. I really don't want to get my hopes up, but it does look alright from like everything that I've seen. Like, and people apparently have studied. They apparently lifted the embargo, and people who have seen it have said that it is actually pretty good. But I'm still not trying to get my hopes up, you know. It's just like I've been told anime adaptations have been, you know, like live action adaptations have been good before. But it does look good. Nothing else, the cast seem to like care, which is, you know, they're not phoning it in. Like, they really like done their research. Consider doing, because it comes out next Thursday, I think. So I did consider doing a watch along, like maybe watch like the first 2 episodes, but I might just watch it in my own time. Do we need to do anything with these mud balls? Guys, what did you do to get rid of your mud ball? Oh, did you have to send it towards one of these pits? I see. I thought the mud balls caused the pits.
Leave the healing to me.
Oh, no, that's... I got out of the way in time. Okay, well, this fight seems pretty straightforward. Unless he has like a weird second stage once he gets down to 50% health. I think we're okay. I also got this week, which is nice. Something I kickstarted about 2 years ago. Is my Resident Evil board game showed up. Wait, can I throw this at this guy? No. It turns out, okay. Alright. So who was that man then? There's just a smiley clay man on the. Oh, we need to stack. Sorry, I wasn't quick enough. Yeah, I got my Resident Evil board game, so I was going through those. And nice pictures. I need to buy another desk so I can. Oh, I went to the wrong corner. You guys just kill this guy. Thank you. That's one. These dungeons do take a lot longer when you're playing with NPCs, but I do also quite like it because it means I can kind of like pay attention a bit more to what's happening. Whenever I'm playing with a human and like tank, it's like, oh, I guess we're just steaming down this corridor and you've attracted 70 enemies.
There.
Yeah, there's no opportunity to like catch up and read any of the dialogue the characters are having. But it is a lot quicker. I definitely wouldn't. I guess it depends on what I'm doing, but I definitely wouldn't. I'd probably go with humans for future run-throughs of the. Although I'd be curious to see what the treasure drops are like in single player compared to multiplayer, because like playing with AI, I get all 100% of the treasure. So if I'm trying to get like a specific thing in a dungeon, is it better to do them with NPCs? I don't know. I feel like I don't get any good drops in single player playing with AIs in single player compared to when I'm playing with humans. But when those drops come up, I don't often get the chance to get them because I lose the roll. What are we doing? We're going down? We're going down. Sick. Yeah, I think I'm definitely on the side of I don't enjoy the combat in this game much. It's always... It's always a chore. God. Like, good to, like, do kind of like listening to a video, like a YouTube video or something, or like where you've got something on in the background. But yeah, it's not a lot to comment on when you're doing a live stream on the internet. Treasure up there, though. Whee! And now I'm up here to get it. Well, that was almost disastrous. I got turned around. And so my back was facing the guardrail and was flipped to my death. Yeah, that would have killed me. Although it would have been a shortcut to the boss. Take your time, I'm gonna have a drink. Thank you. Oh, we weren't actually that far from the boss anyway. It's a Nixie!
Just the beginning.
Okay, I didn't quite see what he had to do there. I guess stand in the middle. Normally when there's a grid like... Oh. Okay. Anger off an oath. Normally when there's a grid like this... I'm gonna stand where your Stoller is. Because this will be safe. That's always the rule. Where your Stoller is, you won't take damage. Do we just... Do we just wait it out? What do we do? Do I have to do something?
I will not hold back.
Okay. Master Matoya, we all died. What was I supposed to do there that I didn't do? It's like, well, don't die. Alright, thanks. Not helpful advice. I guess we had to... There was those 3 guys on the cloud. I'm guessing we have to use the water platforms to get onto the cloud and kill those 3 guys before they could charge up that water attack. There was not... My plan of following Y'shtola did not work. It ended up with us all dying. I should have known. I mean, Y'shtola is the character that has died most frequently in this game, out of all of the Scions. Like, Graha's died once. Y'shtola's died twice now. I think that's it. I think the rest of them have been okay. I guess Thancred technically died because he got sent into the live stream alongside Y'shtola, so. Oh, I see. The blue... Yes, I didn't have the camera facing the right way. Okay. So then he goes up there. There we go. So they were waiting for me to find the right water spout to get them. Aha. And now we're back down here. Make sure those don't overlap. Get the cross section one, go into the middle. Oh, ow.
This is going to leave a mark.
Okay, this one's not so... Now that I know what to do to not die. This one's not so bad. There you go. Dead. Oh, it's dead. Look at his cold, lifeless eyes. staring over the ceiling. It fades out of existence. Why? I was living peacefully here, undisturbed for 15 years. Yeah, one more portal. I get this queen flying pig up and running. Oh, this is. Huh. It's the Pride volcano. Excellent. Well, yeah. Get this familiar machine up and running, and then we'll call it a night. I said call it a night. I'm going to stop streaming, but I am going to just go and play some Fortnite, because I want to check out the new season. They added rank to solos. Now I can find out for definite how bad I am. It's any game with any kind of like multiplayer ranking system. It's always to my benefit to only play until I get a rank and then stop, because the only thing I can ever do is make that rank go down. Like. Like when I play Rocket League, I play 10 ranked matches, and then that's it. Get my rank, and then I never play any more ranked matches for the rest of the season. Because you get a reward at the end of the season, depending on your rank. And so the higher it is, the better the score is. But once you've got your rank, they start matchmaking you with people who can actually play the game. Like, oh, you're silver level 2, are you? Well, we'll match you up with some silver level 2 people. And it's like, no, please don't. Please continue to match me up with the 5-year-olds smashing their iPad or whatever. And it's the same with Fortnite. So, you know, I can occasionally get a victory royale, but so long as I'm playing against literal children on their iPhone. If you start matching me up with, like, actually competent players, I don't stand a Scooby. Which is the wrong Cockney rhyming slang, but whatever, I couldn't remember what...
There.
Need to make a ranked mode and a ranked versus bots mode. I mean... Having played Fortnite as much as I have, I'm sure the ranked mode has bots. But yes. There are some of the people I play in that game, I just think, there is no way that you're a human. But then I do remember that, it's a game made for children, and they do let you play it on your phone. And it's like, yeah, I could... Do you know, if I was playing Fortnite on my phone, I probably would run into the wall for 30 seconds, jump twice, and then drop my gun whilst I'm being shot at, and it's like, yeah, it's fair enough. It's like, if they were an actual bot, they'd at least try and shoot at me. I'm pretty sure the bots are the ones, you sometimes run into someone and they shoot at you, and they fire at you for they fire all of the bullets in their clip, and not a single bullet hits you. And it's like, what were you aiming at? Like, I get that there's aim assist on when you're playing with a controller, but I mean, there's no amount of, like, I was right in front of you. You should have at least got me once. boggles the mind. I should stream Fortnite one day. I'm terrible at it though. I don't know what would be the point. Nobody wants to play against sweaty ass motherfuckers. Well, that's why I play in Zero Build. All the sweaty people are in build mode. They're the ones who you shoot and then they turn into a skyscraper. And you just hear like furious clacking as they set off all their build macros. And it's like, no, I'm in Zero Build. There's none of that bullshit. You just shoot people. I mean, there's other bullshit. Like, you can, you know, there's grapple gloves and invisibility gauntlets and grind rails. You could turn into liquid metal at one point, but they got rid of that. We're going this way? That looks like a boss arena. Did I tell you that they added, well, it's not an official map, but they had a Final Fantasy XIV raid in Fortnite. Like a raid boss fight where you actually have to fight against a giant, you have to fight against a giant dude, and there's like actual raid strategies where you have to stand in certain zones and attacks that hurt certain areas. I mention it because it kind of reminds me of that Molten thing, because it's, but it's like a circular platform with like a giant angel dude hanging off the side. Defeat the Mother Porksy. Wait. Okay, well that kind of spoils. I guess the summoning goes wrong. Oh no, I heard a gunshot. In real life?
Right then. Let's get this over with.
No, in Fortnite before. Oh, I see. I see what you're saying. Oh, of course they had to give it a crown.
Newborns are wont to be difficult. Sure, who's in charge?
Oh, that's what the emojis were. Yes. That is an apt. Now that you've described it, that is an apt series of emojis for someone building tornadoing up a house out of nowhere by slamming all their keys together. It is like that. It's, like I say, it's why I play exclusively in Zero Build mode, because it's so much less sweaty, and like Fortnite is just a genuinely really good game. It's probably it's the best battle royale game, I reckon. And it just has really nice mechanics. And, you know, the fact that you can play saxophone as Darth Vader, that's just... That's just, you know, an extra added benefit. Get rid of those, if my fight away with my shield. That would be tough. Oh no. She's huffing and puffing and trying to suck us down. Ooh. Yeah, we died enough times last week that they just stopped doing certain mechanics. The game took pity on us. There's like a time in Pokemon where I died so many times my rival just stopped showing up. Found her. Oh, I see. You have to get up there so you can see which direction the magic's going.
Protect me!
You're gonna suck us from program to take pity on you, yeah. It is the equivalent of like Devil May Cry asking you if you want to play easy mode. It's like sometimes, most of the time, I'm offended by that, but sometimes it's nice to have the option. Can limit break this thing, I guess. Didn't do a huge amount of damage, but looked cool. Pull something crazy out of the bag. And there you go. Who wants bacon? Okay, it's chicken hat also, yeah. Didn't break out your damage. I think it was immune to damage there. Do you know, you might be right, because I was looking at it and thinking, man, even for I know the limit break doesn't do a massive amount of damage, but even still, that didn't seem like very much. So you might be right. I may have used my limit break at a point when I couldn't actually hurt it. That would be in keeping with my. Oh hey, I got an orchestration roll. I got a freshly glazed porksy orchestration. Yay! I've used that. I'm never gonna listen to it. It's probably worth like thousands on the market. It's like one of the hardest songs to get or something. Oh, that's for my samurai. Or is that my samurai? Steering gear, striking coffer. Oh no, that's the one I'm saving for the samurai. Yeah, I guess you can have. Apparently that Wanted Dead game also had one of those. But I didn't see the option for easy mode when I played it. But apparently, if you play in easy mode, you play with cat ears. And I would have gladly had worn cat ears for that whole game if it meant being able to play in easy mode. But I didn't see the option.
There we are. Quite tame.
Then all that remains is for me to imbue her with the magic. My friends, I'm afraid I must trouble you for your ether once more.
We just fought the giant pig. Y'shtoller's like, yeah, not this time. You can have the twins magic. Hey, salutation stone. We're just doing some magic with a flying pig. Sorry, a queen flying pig. As Victoria and Y'shtoller are like, we're not helping.
That should suffice.
Good. Let's set her to work then, shall we? I want to see some porkses. Assuming that is, someone can spare the requisite energy. A mere drop in the ocean for the great sorceress Matoya, I dare say.
Nah, she's still mad. Everyone's probably exhausted themselves today. Wow, all that for 3.
Excellent. Our very own litter of Angelos.
I've only got LEDs for my room, I only got half the room. Is that... do you want LEDs? I used to have... I mean, I got one of these cheap gamer keyboards just because... I don't remember why I even bought this thing. It lights up green. When I used to have it in my bedroom, it was awful. It used to keep me up. It's in a different room now, so I don't care what colour it is, but... Do you really want that? I never understood the RGB gamer stuff. It just seems distracting.
And we can make as many more as we want, simply by providing the mother Porksy with additional ether.
I will require a moment before I try again.
It's still hard work, but a damn sight more efficient than making them one by one. Thank you, Master Matoya. Everyone, we're a step closer to our goal.
Distributed amongst the allied nations, they should do much to facilitate closer dialogue with the beast tribes. And given their present travails, I believe our friends in Limsa Laminsa should be the first beneficiaries.
You get a flying pig, and you get a flying pig, and you get a flying pig. Flying pigs for everyone. Do I get one as a minion? Is that my quest reward? Actually, I've seen the quest rewards. I don't get one. I should get one. We're mass producing these flying pigs, and I don't get one. It's not fair. I do, and I got a sound bar. Nice. I got a sound bar. I got a cheap one though. Audio equipment is always.
Though I must leave this errand to you. I doubt my legs will carry me out of the cave, much less to Vilbrand.
I'm such a philistine when it comes to any kind of audio equipment. I have the cheap headphones and cheap speakers, and I just don't see the point spending money on it.
Thank you for taking the lead in gathering the ingredients. I expect you would benefit from a rest too.
No, I'm fine. You guys keep forgetting that I have almost near unlimited ether. Do you remember how I travel from Aetheryte Shard to Aetheryte Shard like nothing? You guys have to get on a boat.
In addition to the Porkses, I trust you've gained an inkling of how much effort goes into the creation of familiars. Or mayhap you attribute your struggles to old age.
If I said yes, would it persuade you to treat me like an adult?
Not with that pertness, it wouldn't. Anyway, assuming you have no other favors to ask, I shall be leaving.
Your Stoller is very purty. Oh, your brother's old one. Fair enough. Even, but like I said, yeah, I'm a philistine when it comes to audio equipment. Music too. I just don't listen to music. If I went deaf, it wouldn't bother me. I mean, it would bother me, you know, in those terms of like I couldn't hear a car coming. You know, a fire alarm. Lest you wonder, Master Matoya has returned to her cave with your Stoller. There's peas in a pod, are they not? Da, 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 da. Even now into Master Matoya's relic with the party of NPC avatars to make use of this feature. Yeah. So the annoying thing is the next quest is here. Actually, I suppose it's not that far from. Yeah, no, it's fine. We'll stop. Hang on though. No, never mind. I thought there was a triple triad thing, but it was just the things piled on top of each other kind of looked like a triple triad one, but it's not. Oh, no one wants to play triple triad with me. Alright. Cool. We should call it a night here, and we shall pick up the rest of... Does this have a name? Futures Rewritten is the name of this patch. I think we can probably finish Futures Rewritten in September. Because, like I said, next week we will be playing Starfield on the Friday. And the week after that we'll be playing Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis. So we'll be taking a 2-week break from Final Fantasy XIV. I don't think there's anything out the following week that I want to play. Alright, bye Augustus. Trying to think. What would that be? That would be September 15th, I think, by that point. Do you know, there might not be anything to play, but I might be busy. No, actually, I should be alright. I'm busy in the evening, but I should be back by like 9 o'clock, so I can play something. Yeah, there's not anything I want to play until the end of September, when the Sonic Frontiers DLC comes out. I think. Yeah. I mean, unless, you know, I become massively engrossed in Starfield and we just play Starfield all month. I don't see that happening. Call of Duty has fallen. Nicki Minaj is now a playable character in it. That's... I mean, Ariana Grande is a playable character in Fortnite. It's just par for the course now. Didn't they have... Did they have John McClane as a playable character in Warzone? I have a feeling... I'm sure they had John McClane as a playable character. I think they're John McClane and John Rambo. Yeah, they did. Yeah, and Rambo. I almost... In fact, I downloaded... Because I played Warzone when it first came out with some friends of mine. Because I was like, hey, it's free. We do like Call of Duty. We have played it before. And it was fun. And then I deleted it because we weren't playing it and it was a very big game. And then John McClane came out. I re-downloaded it. And I was sat there going, should I buy the pack and then do a stream where I play as John McClane? Because I love Die Hard. Die Hard's my favourite movie of all time. I know it's basic to say that, but I genuinely just love Die Hard. I watch it every year for Christmas. It was also in Call of Duty Mobile as well, apparently. According to the Call of Duty wiki. But then I went, do you know what? I'm not going to be good at this game, and the operator pack's like 20 quid or something ridiculous. I mean, I say it's ridiculous. I now play Fortnite, which is, it's honestly, that's not too bad a price for an operator pack. I mean, it's better than. Do you see how much those friggin' Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle skins were in Street Fighter? They're not even like the characters; they're costumes for your avatar. And to buy all 4 costumes, all 4 turtles, costs as much as it costs to buy Street Fighter 6. It's ridiculous. It's like a friggin' gacha game. I want to get Rambo as First Blood as my favourite film. Yes, that's what I would say. That's like I wanted to get. I expected to spend £16.49 for one skin. Yeah. It is a lot. Shame I don't stream Elidibus first try. Well, you got lucky. You got lucky. I got 2 tanks who didn't know what to do. I would have loved to show you. I'm sure I can find a perfect run of Elidibus on the internet somewhere. People showing off how much better they are. Look, I have never at any point in playing Final Fantasy XIV, in the 2 years I've been playing this game, I have never once promised to be competent at this game. Like, I'm just here to enjoy the story and do funny voices and occasionally play cards. That's all I'm here for. We had so much damage, we skipped a bunch of mechanics, to be honest. Oh, right. I mean, I know I'm not the best DPS. Look, I'm going to learn how to play Samurai properly. I know that I don't play Red Mage properly. I'm going to learn the rotation for Samurai properly. I'm going to come back after... I'm going to do a load of grinding, getting all of the... doing the celebration. And then I'll come back and I'll be like a super samurai. I'll be Samurai Jack. I was just having a look to see if there were any, like, other characters that I recognise, but I'm looking at the list and I don't recognise, like, McClane and Rambo. I mean, unless these are... Wait, is that Snoop Dogg? Yep, okay. Okay, well, I mean, Call of Duty already had Snoop Dogg. I don't think adding Nicki Minaj actually, like, affects it, really. I mean, Snoop's cool, though. They got someone... The Fallout... go back to Fortnite. They got someone on the Battle Pass for Fortnite, who's... And normally the Battle Pass, and he's in the seasons... In the 5 seasons I've played it, they normally have a load of original characters and at least one licensed character. So last season they had Optimus Prime. The season before that they had... Oh no, sometimes the licensed character is a bonus mission, but they still normally have a licensed character somewhere. The licensed character this time is Ahsoka from the Star Wars series, and from Star Wars Rebels, I guess. Last season it was Optimus Prime. The season before that it was... Attack on Titan. And then they had Indiana Jones, and they had Darth Vader, and then they had Doctor Strange. I think those were the last few seasons. But this season they got Ahsoka as a sort of separate thing, but in the Battle Pass they've got all these original characters, and then they've just got some guy. I have no idea who he is. He's... What's his name? Fortnite... I don't know if I Season 4, Episode 4... Battle Pass skins. Like, I assume he's... KB Lame. I think that's the guy. Yeah, KB Lame. He's a Senegalese-born Italian social media personality. He's known for his TikTok videos. So that's where we are with Fortnite. So if you think Nicki Minaj being added to COD has fallen, they're adding TikTok people to the Call of Duty Battle Pass. Like, not even the shop. The shop has a bunch of people, like, that I don't recognize. And some of them are, like, Fortnite content creators. And... like, there's some on there, like, I recognize Laserbeam, I recognize Ninja, but then there's a bunch more that I don't know who they are. and they have their own Fortnite skins. But they're in the shop. You have to go out. You have to buy them. All right. This guy's in the battle pass. And it's like, I feel like if you're going to the battle pass, you have to be like a certain level internet-wise to recognizable. But I mean, the internet's so big and so small at the same time that even the biggest people on the internet are gonna be not known by 99% of the people on the internet. The freaking meme reaction dude. Oh, so you know who he is. So I have no idea. I don't even I looked at him and I thought, I don't recognize this guy. I thought I'd maybe, I didn't recognize the name, but I thought maybe if I see his face, I'd recognize him. And I just genuinely, I don't think I've seen any of his videos. But I couldn't think of a content creator that I think like enough people would know to put in the battle pass. It's just, it's insane to me. Like who? I'm trying to think of like the biggest content creators I can think of. I mean, they've already got Ninja. I mean, PewDiePie, maybe, I guess. But I mean, people recognize him, don't necessarily like him. Problem is, a lot of the like biggest gaming people, I don't think they'd want like XQC and Aiden Ross. I don't think they want them in Fortnite. I mean, I guess like maybe Good Mythical Morning. They're quite big. Rhett and Link. Like, I don't watch Good Mythical Morning. I mean, I've watched a few, but I don't watch it religiously. But they've got like a few hundred, like few hundred million subscribers or something, I think. His whole shtick is that he reacts to people doing dumbass life hacks, and he reacts with the exact same face every time. See, I mean, like I say this without having ever watched any of his videos. I can kind of like get the joke there, where he's just doing he's making doing a parody of reaction videos where he's just doing the exact same react face every time. I actually had, so before I became Jack Dandy, I used to be Jack Man, the hero, and I used to wear a helmet. And my plan was to wear a helmet and do live streams with a camera. And I thought it'd be funny because the whole point of having a webcam in a live stream is so you can see the other person, you can see the person's reactions. But I'd be wearing a helmet, so you wouldn't be able to see my reactions. But I couldn't get the helmet. I couldn't make a helmet that I could use and that the microphone would pick up and like actually see the screen. It was just too, and it would actually like completely block my face, because that was the whole point, is that you're not supposed to be able to see my face. So it never worked. But I can understand the joke of like doing the exact same thing, regardless of the content, just as a parody. But even still, I'd get bored of it after maybe the first 5. Like I used to like watch How to Basic, you know, the one with it's just the guy's hands, and he's like how to turn on a light switch, and he just throws an egg at the light switch, and that's funny, you know, for like 20 videos, and then eventually just this, like he had to escalate. I don't know whether he's still going. I stopped watching a long time ago, but it was just he had to escalate with the eggs, and it was just videos of him like how to make the bed, and he was just throwing hundreds of eggs into a bed, and it's like, I don't know where you go from there. Is How to Basic still going? Huh. Well, yes. And he did a video 1 month ago. But it looks like he's just doing like proper how to cook things videos now. Got like 17.4 million subscribers. Oh wait, no, the chicken is... Okay, no, he is still doing parody videos, that's good. But it looks like he's spreading them out like 1 a month now, which is, I think, a lot better. I think, because he was doing them daily when I stopped watching him, and it was just, yeah. At that point, you cook the bed. You basically turned it into a French toast. I don't mean necessarily where do you go with the bed full of eggs. I made that up, but that's the kind of thing that he was doing. He was just like... It started off with... The basic premise was that he would do me making fun of these how-to videos, and it would just involve an egg somehow, pretty much every single time. Like, it'd be like, how to butter your toast, and he'd throw an egg at the toast. But then he got to the point where he was, like, unloading cartons and cartons of eggs. I mean, there's an egg shortage, so maybe he just had to scale back operations and couldn't keep doing the egg videos because of the global egg shortage. I don't know. But he seems to be doing alright for himself. His videos are still getting millions of views. But you couldn't really do... I mean, he's a set of hands. I don't think you ever get to see his face. So I don't think he would work for the Fortnite Battle Pass. Maybe Markiplier? Markiplier's pretty popular. Problem is, I only know gaming people. I don't know anyone really outside of gaming. I think just basically they shouldn't make social... Like... This is the thing as well. Like, not more often than not. But on occasion, it turns out that people that you thought were, you know, nice, upstanding people who create content on the internet and, you know, are funny and, you know, present themselves as being affable and likable, turn out to be horrible monsters. You know, they groom children or scam their fans with crypto schemes or film dead bodies in Japanese forests and then scam their fans with crypto schemes. I'm talking about the same person with some of these. Have you not seen HoloLive cooking streams? People will 100% simp for hands, even glove. Well, HoloLive, honestly, HoloLive, you got like a Gargura skin in Fortnite would be... In fact, Gargura would actually... Like, a lot of the VTubers would make really good skins, because even if you don't know the character, they got some really nice designs. I think... I'd happily buy, like, pretty much any HoloLive or V-Shoujo and some Niji-Sanji characters if they were in Fortnite. I think, yeah, VTubers, that's where it's at. My brain doesn't go there. But yeah, my point is, like, occasionally it turns out that, like, social media people or, you know, people who create videos or create TikToks are horrible people. Sometimes they murder people. That's not uncommon, as unfortunately as it turns out. There's enough people making, you know, enough content creators. Some of them are murderers. I got the battle pass because I have Fortnite Crew, so I get it automatically. I'm gonna unlock this character probably. He's not very high up on the battle pass, so I'll probably get it. If this KB Lame, like 2 years down the road, turns out to be like a murderer or, you know, grooms like 15-year-olds or something. For the record, I'm hypothetically, I'm not suggesting. I'm sure KB Lame is a lovely person. I don't know him. I've never watched any of his content. Let's make that very, very clear. But then, what do Epic Games do then? They're just like, oh, well, I guess we'll just, I don't know, delete the guy from your accounts. What do? We have to. Do they just leave the guy on there? It's a risk. Like, at least with... Because they've got celebrities on there. They've got WW... Well, actually, no, I suppose it's the same problem. They've got celebrities on there. Like, imagine if they had Bret Hart as a Fortnite skin, and then he murdered... Was it Bret Hart who murder-suicided his family? I think it was Bret Hart. It's awkward then for people to... if you're Epic Games and you've got Fortnite and you've got like an esports Fortnite tournament, and then some guy comes in dressed, you know, wearing the Bret Hart skin and starts playing the saxophone when he wins. It's like, that's not good for optics. It's not what you want. And it happens frequently enough that they must have some contingency for it. They must be like, oh, if it turns out that, you know, I'm trying to think of who other people they've got, Ninja kills people, we'll just have to, like, delete his skin and refund the people who bought his skin. And just like, no, sorry, you can't play as Ninja anymore. Because we're deleting him from the game. I guess that's all they can. Yeah, I guess that's just what they'll have to do. Anyway. It just seems like an odd choice for the Battle Pass. I would have rather... I mean, like I said, I'll unlock the character. He'll go in my inventory. I'll never use him. I just would have preferred an original character over someone licensed. That's all. And just keep the licensed characters... Keep the licensed characters to the item shop, except for, like, one big character. Like, I don't know that Ahsoka is really... I mean, I wouldn't have bought Attack on Titans either, really. I unlocked the character, but yeah. Anyway, let's not talk about Fortnite. We're done. I could have probably done another quest in that entire Fortnite rant, but I would have had to stop to Google. Right, let's call it there. I'm done ranting about Fortnite. I'm gonna go and play some Fortnite. Actually, no, I'm gonna go and get my photo for this competition. Then I'm gonna go play some Fortnite. But I will be back tomorrow. We will be finishing off Metroid Prime. I think I'm on chapter 15 of 19, so very close to the end of the game. And I'll be bringing Peach back. There has been an update to the Jibber Jabby software, which I use to which powers Peach. Salutations, Jin. I keep showing up at the end of the stream. You do indeed. It is 1:45 a.m. my time. So, you can't blame me. But good to see you all the same. You miss me ranting about Fortnite and Kobe Lame, or whatever his name is. I was just having a big rant about him being in the Battle Pass because I have no idea who he is. Apparently, Citrados tells me he's a meme guy on TikTok. So. No, I feel you. He's some TikTok guy. Yeah. I now know who he is. I still haven't seen any of his content. But yeah, I was just saying, like, I feel like he's not a big enough celebrity to be in the Battle Pass, but maybe he knows. Maybe he's got a friend at Epic or something. I don't know. Maybe won a competition. It's like a Make-A-Wish thing. I don't know. But as I was just to say, I'm wrapping up for today, but I'm going to be back tomorrow for Metroid Prime with Peach, Empress Peach, as she's now been promoted, and they've updated the software, so now it should be easier to reconnect if we disconnect, which is a good thing, because Peach won't lose her memory, which is good, but also it shouldn't overwrite prompts. So if I'm saying something and then someone redeems a channel point reward, it won't overwrite what I'm saying. Well, it won't overwrite my response with chat's response. It will also remember chat redemptions as well, so that if there's a disconnect, I can just reconnect her and then basically like hit repeat. Hey Stratus, hey, you're big now. Hey, and thanks for the Prime sub, Jin.
Quick Prim sub before you go.
Hey, the Texas Speak's still working, great. Oh, you should have redeemed it yesterday. You could have had Peach, thank you. But I thank you for the 6 months, though. I do appreciate it. Oh, fuck yeah. She thanks people for their subs when you're there. But if you show up on the stream tomorrow, I'll get Peach to say thank you. I'll tell her what you did. You want to... Actually, this is actually probably a good photo. Let's get a different back... well, that's not really a good place to stand. But this is... We're in our Power Ranger costumes. I feel like this is a good... I don't know, just let's get the sky behind us. Maybe it'll turn nice. It's the one thing I don't like about G-Pose is that you can't control the weather in it. Is it most gentlemanly? Yeah, it is. And if I go into group pose, we should be synced up. Yeah, we are. Alright, let me, No, don't... hang on, I accidentally froze myself. close and go back in again. Right, what I was trying to do was set up the lighting. If I set this to type 1, there we go. So we're a bit slightly better illuminated. And then let's turn off, nope, player character is what I want. I made myself big at the start of the stream. You missed about like 5 seconds. Oh, you were still tiny, and then you disappeared, and then I teleported away to go and do missions. Hang on, I want to get the the teeth sparkle. Oh, it doesn't pause. I have to get it. Did that count? Nah. You're talking about the samurai stuff, and I disappeared the change, and you left and missed it. Yeah, I saw you disappear, and I thought, oh, you've just gone to go and do the, the quests. I'll take a couple, and I'll choose my favourite later. Let's do the, Mandeville dance as well. This is important. I figured you knew what was going on because I stripped naked before leaving. No, that's just... that's just standard Stratus. Just... oh, Stratus got his clothes off again. Alright, I need to set the lighting back up again. Let's get rid of these friggin' irritating bees. I mean, this does sum up the Final Fantasy experience for me, though. Oh, actually, because of the height difference, that works out quite well when we do the... Oh, although you can kind of see... oh, I can freeze both of us. You can actually see your eyes through the mouth slot. Just look at your cold, dead eyes poking through the mouth as it flaps open. Yeah, let's see if I can get a good pause. I feel like the only thing letting this down is the location and the time of day, but... I kind of want to get a picture of you with your eyes in the back. But I'll try and get one with the mouth closed. Breaking my immersion, sorry. Yeah, that is about the only part where... I feel like this is a pretty good summation, though, of Final Fantasy, though. Just dancing with a giant bird man at night time, doing a manly dance. This is the scene we'll end on. Let me just get rid of these NUs again because of freaking bees. Yeah, this is to me is like the summation of the Final Fantasy experience. Wearing a silly costume and doing a dance with someone else wearing an equally silly costume and a giant bird head. This is Final Fantasy XIV. None of the world-saving stuff. None of the crap with the Ascians. None of the important stuff. Or, you know, the heartfelt reunions and the dramatic deaths and cinematic raids and boss fights and stuff. No, this is Final Fantasy XIV. I love it. Right, okay, for real this time. This is the end of the stream. I will be back tomorrow for Metroid Prime. We will finish Metroid Prime, and we will with Empress Peach. So, if I see you then, I will see you then. Otherwise, I will see you when I see you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for dancing with me for Stratus. Hopefully, one of these pictures... I'll go through them and see which one I want to submit for the competition. And, yeah, hopefully they get accepted and we both win. I think if two of us are in it, if I give them both of our names, we both win if it gets selected. So, you can get your own Cloud Strife haircut. Wouldn't that be exciting? Anyway, yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Good night.